This is Ridgefield Raptors baseball. The pregame show starts right now.
Well, the Ridgefield Raptors have a chance at a big series victory over the Bend Elks here today in Game 2 of this 3-game series from Southwest Washington after a big victory last night. 10-1 the final score yesterday as the Raptors took the series opener over the Bend Elks and now could take the series and their 10th series of the year if Ridgefield wins today. Hi again, everybody, and welcome back on the Ridgefield Raptors live stream. I'm Josh Warden. Pleased to be with you here for Game 2 and game number 43 on the West Coast League Summer for the Ridgefield Raptors. Here's the starting lineups. First for the visiting Bend Elks, as penned in by their skipper Joey Wong. Leading off for the Elks and playing shortstop from Chico State, Elijah Jackson. Hitting second for the Elks, third baseman from the University of Portland's Evan Scavato. Hitting third, the right fielder from Oregon State, Brady Casper. Hitting cleanup and catching today is Bo Sylvester, incoming freshman at Oklahoma State. Hitting fifth, the DH, Wilson Weber from Oregon State. Hitting sixth for the Elks, the left fielder from UP, Christian Cooney. Hitting seventh for the Elks, the center fielder from Yavapai College, Jude Hall. And behind him, the first baseman hitting eighth, Riley Casper, headed to Cal State Bakersfield. And batting ninth, the second baseman from Nevada Reno, Michael Ball. On the mound today for the Bend Elks, Braden Boisvert, a 6-foot Oregon State right-hander who will make his third start of the year and second start against Ridgefield on the summer. His counterpart today is Jeter Sherman, getting his first start of the year and his 14th appearance. Usually the closer or setup guy, or at least just reliever in general. And he's been good and now gets a start here for the Ridgefield Raptors out of Spokane Falls Community College by way of Spokane, technically Meade, Washington. And Sherman is ready to go against the league leader in doubles and a .331 hitter in Elijah Jackson. Ridgefield 25-17 on the year, Bend 24-19. Sherman's first pitch of the day gets a swing and a miss. And we are underway here in Game 2 of this 3-game series. Should be a good one as Ridgefield comes into the series a half game in front of Bend in the playoff race. And now 1.5 games ahead of the Elks. The 0-1 from Sherman is a called strike. And he throws 2 quick strikes here to get ahead of Elijah Jackson. The top 2 guys in this order for the Bend Elks each have 12 doubles. That's tied for the most in the league. The 0-2 from Sherman, a slider that bounces away from his battery mate, Isaac Lovings. In the field today for the Ridgefield Raptors, Lovings is behind the dish, Mikey Kane at third base. Travis Welker gets the start at shortstop today. Jake Sukata is at second base, and Safea Mawai is manning first base duties for the Raptors in their maroon uniforms. The 1-2 slider bounces again, ball 2. Out in left field is Doyle Kane. In straightaway center field, Austin Cavanis. And in right field, the home run slugger is Jacob Sharp, getting the start, staying in the lineup. Whether he's catching like yesterday or playing the outfield like today, they want his bat in the lineup. And so Jacob Sharp rounds out the 9. The 2-2 pitch from Jeter Sherman is fouled away, and the count will stay as such. The DH today for the Raptors is Riley McCarthy. So the leadoff man when we come up in the bottom of the first will be Jake Sukata, then Welker, and then Sharp. As the top guys for the Raptors here, scoring 10 runs yesterday in a blowout victory. 2-2 pitch swung on, again fouled away. And a long at-bat for Elijah Jackson. Already 6 pitches here in this at-bat. And Jackson fighting off after an 0-2 count and stays alive here against Jeter Sherman. Getting his first start of the year. He's gone 19 innings so far out of the bullpen. And this is his first inning in a start. The 2-2 from Sherman. Breaking ball. Swung on and whiffed. And he gets a strikeout to begin his day. It was not an easy one, but he did ultimately punch out Elijah Jackson on the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Now Evan Scavato, the batter, with 1 away here in the top of the first. 6:35 starts, all 3 games of the series. We'll have the finale tomorrow, then down to Springfield the day after that, Friday, Saturday, Sunday against the Drifters. Sherman's first pitch in on the hands, jammed towards Sukata, and the second baseman drifts back into shallow right field and makes the catch. After a 7-pitch strikeout, a little easier 1-pitch pop out to the second baseman. And Jeter Sherman doesn't have to use quite as many pitches to retire Scavato. And so Sherman faces the top two guys in the league in doubles, both of whom hitting over 330, and he retires them both. Now the 3-hole hitter, Brady Casper, takes the ball down and in, 1-0. Sherman works with a four-seam fastball and a slider, two of his main pitches. And he'll flash in a two-seamer and a changeup as well. This is low, and it's ball 2 to Brady Casper, the first guy he has gotten behind in the count. Casper, who went 1 for 4 yesterday, had a double in his first at-bat. The 2-0 to Brady is swung on and popped foul down the left field side. Will probably get into the seats and does get about 5 feet beyond the side wall down the left field line. The wind blowing softly out to right field today with some warm temperatures this evening in Ridgefield. Been hot all day, about as hot as yesterday, maybe a touch cooler, but it felt pretty warm all day long. High of 93 in Southwest Washington. 2-1 pitch hit hard by Casper on a line to right field. That ball's got a chance. It's got more than a chance. It's over the bullpen onto the right field berm, and a home run for Brady Casper against his former team. Had 1 home run last year for the Raptors. It was here at this ballpark to right field, and he now gets another homer here at the Rourke. He puts the Elks up for their first lead of the series with a solo home run to right. It is a solo shot and a 1-0 lead for Bend. And Bo Sylvester will come up next. So with 2 outs and the bases empty, Brady Casper gets an early run on the board. And now Bo Sylvester to the plate, the cleanup hitter for the Elks. Takes a strike. 1-0 Bend in the first inning. Well, Bo Sylvester trying to start a new hit streak here. He snapped a 16 gamer yesterday. Slider that he hits up the middle. Welker running for it, can't get there. And Sylvester does have a new hit streak going after a base hit up the middle. And he singles after going 0 for 4 yesterday with a pair of strikeouts. And today gets a single, a blast, and a bloop here in the first inning in that order. 1-0, man on first. There are 2 outs after Sherman struck out the first guy he saw, then a pop out, but then a home run and a single. Wilson Weber to the plate, getting his 100th at-bat of the summer. First pitch breaking ball from Sherman, stays high, ball 1. 6'2", 230-pounder Jeter Sherman has spent 1 year so far at Spokane Falls Community College. A 1-1 fastball gets a swing and a miss. And a 1-1 count to the Oregon State catcher / today the DH for the Elks. Hitting .313 on the summer is Wilson Weber. Now a four-seamer for a strike on the outer half, and it's 1-2 to Weber. Jeter Sherman trying to make it just a 1-run inning. And Ridgefield, which scored 10 runs yesterday, can certainly overcome a 1-0 deficit in the first inning. Not that Sherman wanted to give up a run here in the top, but a manageable deficit. Misses high. It's 2-2 to Wilson Weber, who went 0 for 2 yesterday. Did have 2 walks. Right-handed batter against right-handed pitcher. Ridgefield in the maroon uniforms, white pants, black caps. Bend in the gray uniforms today. Breaking ball, top of the zone, taken. Strike 3 called. And Jeter Sherman gets 2 strikeouts in the first inning. He does allow a solo home run. And ultimately there's 2 hits, 1 run, and 1 left aboard. We head to the bottom of the first inning. It's the Ridgefield Raptors coming up with a 1-0 ball game.
Ridgefield Main Street supports the Raptors and is dedicated to preserving the cultural heritage of downtown Ridgefield while advocating for its future. See you downtown and at ridgefieldmainstreet.com.
The Ridgefield Raptors are back, where the entire family can watch top-level college baseball players live at the Rourke. Now, kids 12 and under get in free with a paid adult for all Sunday afternoon Raptors games. Enjoy local Southwest Washington baseball with the whole family this summer. Sunday games are at 105 and are presented by Peace Health and the Columbian. Come cheer on your Ridgefield Raptors all season long. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
This is WSU Vancouver, Southwest Washington's only 4-year research university. Whether in person or via distance delivery, WSU Vancouver offers high-quality education and an employer-respected degree. You'll get a small school feel and the kind of place where you know you matter. Here, you'll get personalized education that brings out the best in you and inspires you to achieve your highest goals. Now, what are you waiting for? Apply today.
Into the bottom of the first inning for the Ridgefield Raptors. Leading off for Ridgefield, the starting lineup today by Chris Cota, the head coach, writing in the lineup as follows. Leading off and playing second base for Ridgefield is Jake Sukata out of the University of Portland. Hitting second and playing shortstop, Travis Welker from Fresno State. Hitting third for the Ridgefield Raptors, playing right field, Jacob Sharp. Hitting cleanup and the first baseman headed to BYU, Safea Mawai. Hitting fifth for Ridgefield and DHing today. Had 3 hits yesterday, Riley McCarthy. Batting sixth in this lineup and the left fielder from College of the Canyons, headed to UC San Diego, Doyle Kane. Batting seventh and the center fielder from Cal Poly, Austin Cavanis. Batting eighth, the catcher from Pacific is Isaac Lovings. And rounding out the 9, the third baseman from College of the Canyons, Mikey Kane, transferring to Oregon State this year. He'll be facing a pitcher from Oregon State, Braden Boisvert, who's ready to go against Jake Sukata in a 1-0 ball game into the bottom of the first. Ben takes a lead on a Brady Casper home run. And now Boisvert misses low to start the at-bat against Jake Sukata. The 1-0 from Boisvert is taken outside, ball 2. Boisvert, 6 foot, 220-pound ox of a human being, as they describe him at Oregon State. One of the strongest guys on the team. A lot of strength. He's a two-way player. Mostly just a pitcher of late. 2-0, and Sukata showing bunt. And the pitch is just inside for ball 3. Sukata, who did have a bunt single yesterday and had 3 hits in the contest, went 3 for 5. But now is ahead 3-0 and will likely be taking against Boisvert. And the pitch is outside, and a 4-pitch walk to begin the home first inning. So Sukata reaches, and Travis Welker coming up next for a Ridgefield offense that is second in the league with just over 7 runs per game. They would be first in the West Coast League if not for Bend. The Bend Elks averaging also 7 runs a game. It's such a close margin, you have to go to the 100th of a point. Ridgefield 7.04, Bend 7.06. That's how close it is. And point, I mean, who cares the 100th of a point? The reality is both of these teams are good. And that's the lesson here. 2 of the top teams, and the 2 top teams in offense. As Boisvert does find the strike zone here on the down inside corner, and Travis Welker has an 0-1 count. Just like Jake Sukata, he also went 3 for 5 yesterday. Top 2 guys in the lineup, totaling 6 hits. 0-1 pitch, a breaking ball that stays in the attic, ball 1 from Boisvert. Boisvert originally from Sonoyta, Arizona, and playing for his 3rd different college, 2 different JUCOs, and now to the D1 level, pitching for Oregon State last year at the Pac-12 level. The 1-1 with Sukata going, a hit and run. Ground ball right up the middle. It's fielded by the second baseman. Ball steps on the bag with his foot already there. Throws to first in time. A hit and run double play as Welker grounds right to the second base bag and grounds into a 4-3 twin killing. As he made contact, did the job, just a few more feet to the right of the infield. Would have done something different, but that's how baseball goes sometimes. And Sukata forced out at second base despite stealing on the play. Don't often see a double play, at least not on a ground ball with a runner stealing. But after all, the ground ball right to second base, and Michael Ball could field the grounder with his foot already on the bag. Jacob Sharp, the batter, takes a first pitch strike. 2 outs, nobody on. Sharp swings and lines one down the right field side. That's a fair ball. Brady Casper reaching out, snags it on the run. Sharp will stop at first base and hold there with a 2-out single. So Jacob Sharp takes one down the right field side and will increase his batting average and slugging percentage, which sits at .698 coming into today's game. So that should get him over the 700 mark, and is the only player in the West Coast League to have a slugging percentage over 700. In fact, the next guy is Bo Sylvester of the Bend Elks, who is slugging .625, which is very good, but still a far cry from 700. And Jacob Sharp is at that number first in the league. Safea Mawai, the batter, and the first pitch gets through the legs of Sylvester, and Jacob Sharp into second base. This is a matchup of 2 MVP candidates. If you had to end the season right now, those guys might be 1 and 2 in the MVP race. Right now, Jacob Sharp probably has the edge, but Sylvester has had a fantastic year and deserves a lot of credit for what Bo Sylvester has done, as does Jacob Sharp. And Sylvester unable to snag that pitch, allowing Jacob Sharp to advance to second base. The 1-0 to Mawai is down. Sylvester again has trouble blocking it. This time does snag it, throws back to second, and Jacob Sharp is safely into second base. So he singled with 2 outs, advances on a wild pitch, and in scoring position. A double play, but then Ridgefield gets a runner in scoring position after the walk and attempted steal, not because of it. 2-0 to Mawai is on the low outside corner, strike 1. Mawai hitting .376 on the year, 7 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs. Had a triple in Bend, and we both joked about how it probably should have been a double, but was scored a triple. Then he had a real one on Monday, and he came up to me afterwards and said, that one was legit, huh? Here he lines one over the shortstop into center field. They'll wave around Jacob Sharp, and he will score without a throw. Ridgefield comes back after a double play. They don't give up in the first inning and make a 2-out rally into the tying run. Back-to-back singles, and the Raptors knotted up at 1 run apiece. Safea Mawai notches his 33rd RBI on the year. And it ties the game up at 1 run apiece. Jacob Sharp scoring. Sharp, who already scored 3 runs yesterday, scores his 4th of the series. And now Riley McCarthy to the plate. 2 down, runner on first. Boisvert misses high. Speaking of run scoring, we were joking in the dugout before today's game with Riley McCarthy about the stat that I shared on the broadcast yesterday, which then he shared with me saying, oh, I went back and listened and heard a stat from you that I didn't even know, as he takes a pitch on the inside corner, that he had not scored any runs since July 10th, although it is not because he hasn't been getting on base. He's hitting .398 on the year. He had 3 hits yesterday. He's on a 6-game hit streak, but hasn't scored since July 10th. Here's the 1-1. It's outside, ball 2. In that span, he has reached base, whether by a hit, a walk, or hit by pitch, 13 times, including 3 doubles, or 2 doubles, and yet has not scored. So he's been in scoring position, just has not touched home plate. Now fouls one away, and it's 2-2 to Riley McCarthy. Already tying the game this inning on Safea Mawai's RBI single. And the wild pitch comes back to bite Bend, or else Jacob Sharp would not have scored on that play. It would still be a 1-0 ball game. But Sharp got to second base on a wild pitch and then was able to score from second base on the single. 2-2. Mawai's running, got a great jump, and McCarthy fouls it away. Mawai ran even before Boisvert went into his motion, and Safea just ate him up right there on the motion, but will not get anything creditable out of it, and will have to return to first base on the foul ball. McCarthy had to protect after all. There were 2 strikes, so he needed to swing there. 2 down, bottom of the first, in a tie ball game. Boisvert from the stretch. 2-2 pitch, swung on and fouled back. McCarthy again stays alive. After going 3 for 4 yesterday, all 3 hits for RBIs. So he is scoring other people. He's bringing his teammates around. He has just not scored himself since the Yakima Valley game. July 10th, he has played 6 games since then. Reached 13 times, but been stranded a whole lot of times. 2-2 pitch, swings late and strikes out. And the inning is over. Ridgefield strands 1, scores 1 on 2 hits and a walk. Could have been more. They had a double play, and it was 2 outs, nobody on, and they still come back to score a run. And we're knotted up. 1 run apiece after 1 inning.
I'm all about keeping my family driving safe. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So I insist we choose Les Schwab tires for safety services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Stuff those cheap tire centers don't offer. Because I want a backseat drive with confidence. Dad, speed check.
Hit the road safely with Les Schwab and save up to $150 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Ridgefield Main Street is working to keep our small town charm intact while enhancing the economic opportunities for businesses located in our downtown. Follow Pioneer Street West to experience the heart of Ridgefield.
Hey baseball fans, after the game visit A-Lin A, the area's premier gaming, dining, entertainment, and meeting destination. A is a proud supporter of the Ridgefield Raptors and the perfect place to meet up with friends after a Raptors win for dinner, drinks, and great times. Keep the fun and excitement going after the 9th inning and grab beers at Tom's Urban. Or enjoy a perfectly cooked porterhouse at Michael Jordan's Steakhouse. With 100,000 square feet of gaming space, 15 different restaurants, bars, and retail outlets to choose from, A has just what you need to turn your night at the ballgame into a night you won't forget. A, just off I-5 at exit 16, ILANIresort.com.
Well, both teams score 1 run in the first inning. We head to the top of the second. Jeter Sherman back on the hill for the Ridgefield Raptors, facing Christian Cooney to begin the away second inning, and a breaking ball for a strike to begin the second. Two very different methods to score a run, as the Bend Elks got a solo home run to score theirs. A ball outside, it's 1-1, whereas Ridgefield scrapped for a couple 2-out singles, back-to-back singles, and that scored a run with a wild pitch in between that advanced Jacob Sharp into scoring position. 1-1 pitch, and Christian Cooney just gets an ounce of that baseball and fouls it back. And a 1-2 count to the University of Portland outfielder playing left field today. Christian Cooney gets his second start of the series. Also played left field yesterday. The 1-2 breaking ball bounces at third base side. Mikey Kane has to run in. Fields even with the bag, throws to first. Mawai tries to tag him, and Cooney is ruled to be safe on the play at first base. Probably an infield single, as Mikey Kane had to run in far to make a rush throw. And Mawai nearly got the tag down on Christian Cooney. But he is ruled to be safe at first base. And the leadoff man aboard for the Bend Elks. So Jude Hall to the plate with a runner on and nobody out. Jeter Sherman misses high and in, almost clocked him near the batting helmet, and Jude Hall backs away. A pair of JUCO guys here. Yavapai College's Jude Hall versus Spokane Falls Community College right-hander Jeter Sherman. The 1-0 from Jeter is swung on, and a bouncer towards first. Mawai steps on the bag, need a tag at second, and they got Cooney for the 3-6 double play, with Mawai stepping on first, side-arming over to Travis Welker, needed to apply the tag, and Cooney is tagged out at second base, and a double play. So wipe out the single for Christian Cooney. He's off the board, and there's 2 down, nobody on. So Riley Casper, the batter, in the top of the second inning. His first playing time against the Ridgefield Raptors this year. Fouls the first pitch back. His younger brother, Brady Casper, homered in the first inning. Brady played for Ridgefield last year. Riley, meanwhile, is playing alongside his brother with the Bend Elks this year. The 0-1 to Riley is down, ball 1 on the breaker by Jeter Sherman. So Riley, who last year was playing for UC Irvine, is transferring to Cal State Bakersfield this year, is at the plate. 1-1 pitches to the backstop, ball 2. Riley hitting .259 with 2 home runs, 15 RBIs, playing his 30th game for the Bend Elks this year, but first against Ridgefield. Did not play at all against the Raptors last week and did not play yesterday. But now in game 5 between the Raptors and Elks this year, he gets the start. 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed on the fastball, and he swung over it. And strike 2 on the Mission Viejo native. Both of them from Capistrano Valley High School. Riley, the athlete of the year his senior year. Swings and a liner right back over Sherman into center field, and a base hit for Riley Casper, and a 2-out base knock. Just like last half inning, the Raptors get the leadoff man aboard, then a double play, and then with 2 outs, nobody on, a single, and that turned into a run. Now they would like to prevent a 2-out rally here with Michael Ball to the plate. 9-hole hitter for the Elks, second baseman. Tie game here from the Rourke. Michael Ball takes a pitch high and away. It's 1-0 from Jeter Sherman. Jeter comes in with good numbers, especially the strikeout numbers. An ERA of 2.84. Really solid reliever this year for the Raptors. The 1-0 pitch is a grounder toward short. Welker has to slide backwards, throw to second base. Did Sukata keep his cleat on the bag? Yes, he did. Sukata makes the grab with his cleat coming off as he made the catch. and then falls to the ground after pulling it in and gets the force out at second base. It's a fielder's choice, and the inning is over. Joey Wong thought that Sukata had pulled his cleat off the bag before that ball came into his glove. Nick Hudlow calls him out. Riley Casper thought the same thing as his head coach, but that's going to end the inning. Ben strands a runner at first base, does not get a run, and 2 hits here in the inning. We head on to the bottom of the second. It's the Ridgefield Raptors and the Bend Elks with 1 run apiece.
Dick Hanna Dealerships is proud to welcome everyone back to support our Ridgefield Raptors. Just in time for warm summer nights with family and friends, lounging on the lawn, or eating dogs in the stands. Feels good to be back. In business for over 70 years, Dick Hanna Dealerships is a local, family-owned business with locations in Vancouver, Kelso, and Portland. Choose from thousands of cars and 12 new car brands. Experience nice in the car business. Dick Hanna Dealerships. Believe in nice. Now play ball.
At Eden Health, our commitment is to caring. We recognize the importance of caring for others, and we consider it a privilege. We are committed to addressing our patients' specific needs, providing hands-on care and services, helping families through tough situations, and supporting our fellow employees. We listen, build relationships, and go above and beyond to create meaningful experiences throughout our continuum of care. Whether you find yourself a patient to any of the Eden Health services lines or you become part of our team, you will notice the Eden Health difference.
To the bottom of the second inning here from the Ridgefield Outdoor Recreation Complex. And Doyle Kane will lead off, followed by Austin Cavanis and Isaac Lovings, who will each get their first at-bat of the day against Braden Boisvert, right-hander from Oregon State, on the mound. First pitch to Doyle Kane is taken, and a bit low, ball 1 to Doyle Kane, hitting .366 on the summer. His brother, Mikey, headed to Oregon State, will become teammates with Braden Boisvert, who is on the mound. The 1-0 pitch is belt high, strike 1 to Doyle Kane, who considered Oregon State and ultimately decided to part ways with his brother. They'll, I'm sure, stay in contact and encourage each other from afar, but Doyle will stay in Southern California and play for UC San Diego this upcoming year. 1-1 pitch, he grounds it left side, fielded on the second bounce by Michael Ball, and the third baseman throws over, Scavato throws over to Casper and retires Doyle Kane for the putout. 1 away here in the second inning. And Austin Cavanis comes up next. The Chico, California native steps in with a .264 average, 5 doubles, a home run on the year. Plays center field for Cal Poly. Actually didn't play at all this year for Cal Poly due to hip surgery he had not long before the spring season, but was able to be with the team the whole way through. First pitch to him is on the outside corner. He said it was obviously a disappointment to not play for Cal Poly due to the injury. It would have been his first year with the Mustangs. But he made the most of it. Said every game I was on the very top row of the dugout and always right there with the coaches asking questions. He checks his swing here and nearly hits Carl, our team photographer, who is okay and missed him by a few feet. And he's all good. We love Carl out here. Takes great photos of this team. That one missing him by a few feet. He's okay. He's ready in case that ball comes his way. 0-2 the count, 1 away. Base is empty from Braden Boisvert. The 0-2 pitch to Cavanis is swung on and fouled down the left side and stays an 0-2 count. Cavanis said in his exit meeting with the coaches at the end of the year, they said, you know, we loved your attitude. You were probably the guy who asked the most questions out of any guy in the team and wanted to stay involved, and so you certainly have a big role on this team next year, and so he's got good hopes and a good situation at Cal Poly. Here's the 0-2 to Cavanis. It's outside, ball 1. Had to have hip surgery, which is not easy. I mean, following that surgery, you got to stay put. You can't engage the hip flexor and all that sort of stuff. So his parents flew into to San Luis Obispo for a week to help him out. Breaking ball, he swings and does not get it. Goes down on 4 pitches and a strikeout for Braden Boisvert. And 2 down here in the second inning. Isaac Lovings the batter. the catcher today for the Ridgefield Raptors. With the bases empty, 2 down. Ridgefield had the same situation last inning and still scored a run. A 2-out hit by Jacob Sharp. Advanced to second on a wild pitch and then scored on a single by Safea Mawai. High score here in the second inning. And the first pitch to Lovings is a swinging strike from Braden Boisvert. Both of these guys have transferred. Lovings from Concordia to Pacific. Boisvert from a few different colleges before ending up at Oregon State. 0-1 pitch and Lovings pops it up. It'll get out of play. Boisvert went from Scottsdale Community College in 2020 to Seward County Community College in 2021. That's in Kansas. Hit 15 home runs at the JUCO level that year. As a batter, hit .363. And now is pitching for Oregon State. They spent 1 year at the Beavers so far. The 0-2 to Lovings is taken just off the plate. Ball 1. Lovings actually is from Pacific, but his dad, in fact, both of his parents attended Oregon State. That's where they met. Braden Boisvert plays for Oregon State, pitching against Isaac Lovings. 1-2 pitch, a check swing, and bounces it foul. Dribbling on the first base side. And Lovings continues this at-bat. His dad, Kevin, and his mom, Amy, both students at Oregon State back in the day. And they met in Corvallis. His dad had played baseball at Mount Hood Community College before becoming a student at Oregon State. And Isaac, who now plays college baseball, also in the Beaver State at Pacific University. And facing an Oregon State guy in Braden Boisvert. Isaac is an Oregon State fan, although he doesn't play for OSU, but grew up liking Oregon State more than their brethren from Eugene. Boisvert, the 1-2 pitch, upcoming to Isaac Lovings, and he takes it down and away. Ball 2 with 2 down. Bases empty. A tie score in the second inning. His dad, Kevin, Isaac's dad, Kevin, also coached baseball. In fact, coached at Pacific, but stopped before Isaac came in there. Ball down, it's 3-2. Isaac has played for Pacific a couple of years now. His dad, Kevin, coached for 10 years with the Boxers up until 2014. Here's the payoff pitch from Braden Boisvert. Lovings takes it, breaking ball that's in there. Strike 3 taken. And back-to-back Ks for Braden Boisvert. And he goes 1-2-3 in the second inning. Both teams score 1 run in the first and no runs in the second. And we are still notched at 1-1 into the third inning.
Holt Homes is proud to be a local builder. We embrace all that is special about Oregon and Southwest Washington. The natural beauty of the landscape, the dynamic climate, the community that brings us together. It's why we live and build in this place that we love. Holt Homes, built for the Pacific Northwest. Find home today at holtpnw.com.
Listen up, baseball fans. Head into Safeway to score on great deals all season long. Safeway has everyone's tailgating favorites, from fried chicken and party subs to fresh cut fruit and veggie trays and tons of easy meal options. Satisfy your whole team for the ultimate game day experience. And you can save a cartload of time with Safeway Drive Up and Go. Just shop online at Safeway.com, head to the store, and we'll bring your groceries right to your car. Safeway, sponsor of the Ridgefield Raptors.
Middle game of this 3-game series between the Raptors and the Bend Elks, and it's a tie score into the third inning. Elijah Jackson steps in, representing the top of the order for the Bend Elks. Swings at the first pitch in the top of the third. High fly ball, tailing towards the gap. Austin Cavanis running, he can't get there, and it bounces over the wall. And it's a ground rule double for Elijah Jackson. First pitch of the third inning, and a high arcing fly ball, and Cavanis had a tough time tracking it, as anybody would, and it landed just in front of the wall. and bounced over for a ground rule double. It is the league leading 13th double of the year for Elijah Jackson. Into right center field, and Jackson is now alone in first base. Evan Scavato, who was tied with him, is now at the plate. They both came into this game with 12 doubles. Nobody else in the league had a dozen doubles. And now alone in first place is Elijah Jackson. Although Scavato could hit him home with his 13th double. Jeter Sherman would like nothing less than, well, anything other than that. The ball down. It's 1-0 to Scavato. And it's 1-0 to the University of Portland third baseman. Sherman from the stretch looking back at second base. Jeter comes home and a foul ball down the right field portion. And a 1-1 count from Jeter Sherman. Tough part of the lineup. Sherman got both of these guys out in the first inning. They're both hitting over 330, combining for 25 doubles. And 42 RBIs between the two of them. 1 ball, 1 strike from Sherman, and a fastball just off the outer half, and he gets behind in the count, 2-1. Like I said, Jeter Sherman's strikeout numbers are really good. In his in his 19 innings, he has 30 strikeouts coming into today's game, and he has added 2 strikeouts today. The 2-1 pitch is swung on into right field. Pretty hard hit. Jacob Sharp has to give up on it. That one is gone onto the grassy berm. And Evan Scavato has his first home run of the year and his 28th RBI. A 2-run shot for Evan Scavato, and back-to-back extra base hits to begin the third inning. And the Bend Elks take a 3-1 lead. First homer of the year for Evan Scavato. And hit it with the wind into right center field. And now the guy who had the first home run of the day, Brady Casper, steps in. So Jackson led off with a double, and he scores on the homer. Still nobody out. And Jeter Sherman now with a clean inning in a sense. Base is empty, nobody out. But the score is now 3-1, Bend in front for their second lead of the day. 1 ball and no strikes from Jeter Sherman into the wide, and a slider taken for a strike. On the inside corner, 1-1 from Jeter Sherman. Jeter back to the wind now. And the 1-1 pitch to Brady Casper, a breaking ball that's outside. This is the 14th appearance of the year for Jeter Sherman. He had not given up multiple earned runs in an appearance all summer long. An ERA under 3 on the year. The 2-1 pitch is a big swing and a foul tip. And now 2-2 to Brady Casper, looking for another home run there. And he is unable to catch up to that one. 2-2 the count to the Mission Viejo native. Jeter Sherman shakes off the first suggestion by Isaac Lovings. Now ready to go with the 2-2. The two-seam fastball drops the arm slot, and he drops Brady Casper with a strikeout looking. He'll drop that slot on the two-seamer, just throw it from a little lower angle, not quite 3/4, even a little lower than that, and run that fastball back over the outside, and it tails on the corner, dots it up, strike 3. And Brady Casper is down for the 3rd strikeout of the day for Jeter Sherman. Next up is Bo Sylvester, swings out in front of the changeup, and it's 0-1. Sylvester, a great hitter, does have a base hit today, hitting .358 on the summer. Second best in slugging percentage in the league, behind only Jacob Sharp, who is playing basically on the warning track in right field. A slider that's low for ball 1. His fellow outfielders playing almost as deep. Infielders on the back of the infield, with the exception of the corner infielders who are almost at the back of the infield. The 1-1 to Sylvester is over his head. He ducks under it. And ball 2 on the slider that almost gets the top of the batting helmet. Sylvester is leading the league in RBIs and has 8 home runs. Only Jacob Sharp has more. The 2-1 pitch is down. Yesterday was kind of a matchup of potential MVPs, and it's only one game, so don't make it bigger than it was. But for what it's worth, Jacob Sharp won that battle. He went 2 for 3 with a double, a home run, A couple of free passes, whereas Sylvester went 0 for 4. Big swing and a miss. And Sylvester has strike 2. Full count, 1 out, nobody on. And a 3-1 ball game, Bend in front. 0 for 4 Sylvester yesterday, 2 strikeouts. Snapped a hitting streak. The payoff pitch is low, ball 4. And Bo Sylvester has reached both times today. A 1-out walk, and now Wilson Weber to the plate. Sylvester, who had a 16-game hit streak coming in to yesterday's action, and finally, for the first time in the month of July, had an offer and 4 at-bats. And now Tyler Raskin comes out to chat with his starter, Jeter Sherman, getting his first start of the year. And he's been pitching really well out of the bullpen. This start has not been the easiest for him. 3 runs so far, 1 out in the 3rd inning. All runs have been scored on home runs off of Jeter Sherman. Sherman had come into this game in his 19 innings having allowed just 1 home run all summer and has allowed 2 today. Bend is one of the best hitting teams in the league. In fact, they are first in runs scored. Ridgefield is second in the league in runs per game. Wilson Weber takes a strike. It's 0-1 at 92 miles an hour from Jeter Sherman. 1 out, top of the 3rd inning. Right hand hitting Wilson Weber at the plate, slider that he gets inside of and fouls it back. In today's MLB action, the Tampa Bay Rays leading Baltimore 4-3 in a matchup with Drew Rasmussen on the mound and Adley Rutschman starting for Baltimore. 2 guys Jeter Sherman is familiar with. In fact, went to the same high school as Drew Rasmussen, the starting pitcher today for Tampa Bay. As Jeter Sherman tosses on the outside corner and gets Wilson Weber to strike out looking. He has struck out both the Oregon State guys here looking, Casper and Weber. And there's 2 outs now in the 3rd inning. Man on first. Rutschman is 1 for 3 today, as Rasmussen went into the 5th inning, allowed just 2 earned runs. As now Christian Cooney swings and misses. It's 0-1 on the Portland outfielder. 2 down, man on first. The 0-1 from Sherman, a breaking ball, almost caught the front door. And it's 1-1. So Drew Rasmussen went to Mount Spokane High School before going to Oregon State as the only perfect game in Beaver history. And Jeter Sherman also went to Mount Spokane. In fact, his dad is the head coach. A slider that bends outside. So Jeter Sherman's dad coached Drew Rasmussen before his excellent college career and now professional career. Jeter then played for his own dad at Mount Spokane and now at Spokane Falls Community College. A called strike, and Christian Cooney has 2 strikes on him. Sherman hoping to strike out the side, although he has given up a 2-run home run earlier this spring. That is currently the difference. Sherman comes set with a man on first with 2 down, throws in a foul ball down the right field side and keeps the count at 2-2. Rasmussen was an excellent pitcher at Oregon State, the right-hander from Washington, who endured some injuries and couldn't play for OSU in that 2018 season when the Beavers won the national championship. Rasmussen was on the roster that year but could not play. Here's the 2-2. It's inside. Almost hit Cooney. And now a full count from Jeter Sherman. And Rasmussen had gotten drafted, didn't sign, and made it back to professional baseball. Made it to there after a difficult circumstance with the UCL injury, and now pitching well in the major leagues. A fastball, and again fouled away as Cooney hacks at it and stays alive with Bo Sylvester running on the pitch, and he'll do so again on the upcoming offering. Outfielders playing deep. Christian Cooney at the plate. Full count, 2 down. A soft wind blowing towards right field. With the runner going, the payoff pitch, breaking ball, swung on and whiffed. Strike 3. Jeter Sherman does give up a 2-run shot, but he does also strike out the side. 2 hits and 2 runs And the Bend Elks take a 3-1 lead. Stay with us on the Raptors live stream for the bottom of the third.
A 380 batting average is like using Dawn as your mortgage lender. She has over 30 years rounding the bases to a new home and loves helping families build their dreams. Know anyone buying their first home? Would you like to make a cash offer on your next purchase? Evergreen Home Loans can help with several loan options. Call Dawn today to get started. 360-608-7438. Again, that's 360-608-7438. She would love to send you home. Go Raptors.
I'm all about keeping my family driving safe. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So I insist we choose Les Schwab tires for safety services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Stuff those cheap tire centers don't offer. Because I want a backseat drive with confidence. Dad, speed check.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing. Applies to passenger cars, SUVs, and light trucks only.
Bottom of the third inning from Southwest Washington. Ridgefield could take the series today, but they will have to do so in comeback fashion, trailing by 2 into the third at-bat of the day. A wire-to-wire victory last night here at the Rourke. Final score 10-1. On 16 hits. Ridgefield has 16 hits in back-to-back games. Crazy good hitting for Ridgefield, and not even that much better than their averages as Mikey Kane swings to the first pitch and fouls it off his foot, which continues a trend. Yesterday, Mikey Kane had 4 at-bats, and each of them lasted 1 pitch. And this one will last more than 1 pitch, but he wasn't trying to make it last longer. He did swing, he just fouled it away. So he has swung 5 times in this series at the 5 pitches he has seen. Now the 6th one, he does go around on a check swing that he actually went over halfway on, and he has still swung at all 6 pitches he has seen this series. But this is by far his longest at-bat of the week. Went 1 for 4 yesterday with a base hit, and obviously did not strike out. Here's the 0-2. He finally takes a pitch, and it wasn't all that close. Down and away to the backstop. And it's 1-2 to Mikey Kane, who's hitting .283 now in the summer. 10 doubles, 2 home runs, and 25 RBIs. Had a pop out, a fly out, a foul out, and a single. All of them on the first pitch yesterday. Here's the 1-2. It is down, ball 2. And a marathon of an at-bat, relatively speaking, for Mikey Kane. And the funny thing is it's not exactly characteristic. I mean, he'll swing at the first pitch over the course of the summer, but he's had some long at-bats as well. But yesterday just kept on swinging early. 2-2 breaking ball, swings and fouls it behind him to the wooden backstop that stretches to the Ridgefield dugout on the third base side. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Mikey Kane, who is batting 9th in the lineup today. Jake Sukata is on deck, the top of the order. 3-1 deficit. Braden Boisvert to his future college teammate Mikey Kane. 2-2 pitch, popped him up. First baseman Casper coming over. Riley looking up into the sun and makes the catch and retires Mikey Kane. Fouls out to the first baseman. And the top of the order coming out with 1 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the third. Mentioned 16 hits in back-to-back games. Granted, the first one was against Redmond. That's a non-league game, but still 16 hits. And then 16 again yesterday, out hitting the Elks by 10. Bend had 1 run on 6 hits, 1 error. Sukata takes outside for the first pitch. Ridgefield 10 runs on 16 hits, and the Raptors did not commit an error yesterday. The top 5 guys in the lineup all had multiple hits each. The 1-0 to Sukata is belt high for a strike. Riley McCarthy had 3 RBIs and 3 hits. Heck of a day as well for Ryan Obrecht, who finished out the game entering in the 6th inning and went the rest of the way. Got the save. The 1-1 to Sukata is upstairs, ball 2. It was a close game in one sense. When Ryan Obrecht entered in the 6th inning, the bases were loaded with 1 out and the tying run was at the plate. And so he had to work out of that jam in the 6th inning. The 2-1 to Sukana, gets under it and fouls it back with 1 out and the base is empty. But Ryan Obrecht did work out of that jam, got a pop out and a strikeout, and he left the bases loaded and then proceeded to pitch a scoreless 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And Ridgefield went on to score plenty more runs in the meantime. 2-2 pitch to Sukana is high, ball 3. So it was a 5-1 game when Obrecht entered, and by the time he finished getting the final out of the game, it was 10-1, the final score, as Ridgefield went from stranding the tying run at the plate and then scored 4 runs the next inning. So a huge turn yesterday in the 6th. Here's the payoff, and Sukana lines it over the shortstop into left field. Goes opposite way for a base hit on a payoff pitch, and Jake Sukana works for it, singles, and is aboard with 1 out. Travis Welker is next with 1 on and 1 away. Bottom of the 3rd inning, he represents the tying run. Welker from Fresno State, originally from Santa Ynez, California. Saw some family here. His parents came in to visit about a week ago. His girlfriend Audrey was here. In fact, was here last night. Came back down visiting some family up in Washington. Came for a 2nd stint as Welker hits a high fly ball to center field. Not terribly deep. Jude Hall running into the gap and makes the catch in right center field. A first pitch fly out. And Travis Welker is away. 2 down here in the 3rd. Jacob Sharp coming up next, who has singled so far today and is 3 for 4 in the series, up to a 7-game hit streak. Yesterday he doubled in his first at-bat and homered in the 5th inning, a 2-run bomb. And is the first guy to reach 10 home runs this year and ever in Ridgefield Raptors history. The league leader last year, Will Chambers, had 8. Michael Hicks back in 2019 had 9. Jacob Sharp now the single season record holder in Ridgefield history. Takes a pitch high, it's ball 1. The last time any player in the West Coast League had double-digit home runs was Matthew Christian out of Port Angeles, who had a dozen back in 2019. Want to know the count to Jacob Sharp, and a fastball at the top of the zone for strike 1. Usually the league leader has about 10. Last year was 8. The year before it was 9. Back in 2017, there was a big year for sluggers. The high was 15, which is to this day the most home runs ever by a single player. And there were 3 guys with double-digit home runs. That was in 2017. But the year prior was the opposite. The high in the league was just 7 home runs. The very next year, 3 guys at double-digit. Year before in 2015, it was 11 was the high. Year before that was 10. So usually that's around the average. Sukana's running. The pitch is a strike. The throw offline. And Sukana slides in safely for a stolen base. So with 2 down, a runner in scoring position for the Raptors as Jake Sukana gets into second base on the steal. Sukana with good wheels. Just his 2nd stolen base of the year, but he has only attempted 2. And he's into scoring position. 1-2 the count to Jacob Sharp. Here's the pitch. He swings and a ground ball right side. The second baseman ball slides in, nabs it, gets up, throws to first, and puts away Jacob Sharp. Michael Ball had a long way to go, but did get there in time and had the short throw to first base and retires the side. Ridgefield gets no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left at second base. And that's all for the Raptors. In the 3rd inning, we are through 3 complete innings here from the Rourke, and the Bend Elks have a lead of 3-1.
Listen up, baseball fans. Head into Safeway to score on great deals all season long. Safeway has everyone's tailgating favorites, from fried chicken and party subs to fresh cut fruit and veggie trays and tons of easy meal options. Satisfy your whole team for the ultimate game day experience. And you can save a cartload of time with Safeway Drive Up and Go. Just shop online at Safeway.com. Head to the store and we'll bring your groceries right to your car. Safeway, sponsor of the Ridgefield Raptors.
Are you looking for a career that's team-oriented with great pay and great benefits? Then look no further than C-Tran. We're looking for individuals to join our team. We offer paid vacations, holidays, and sick days, plus exceptional medical and dental coverage, educational assistance, a paid fitness program, first retirement, and so much more. Be a part of C-Tran's diverse family, where we put the care back in career. Check us out at c-tran.com/careers.
Through 3 innings from the Ridgefield Outdoor Recreation Complex in Ridgefield, Washington, the Bend Elks have 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and the Ridgefield Raptors with 1 run on 3 hits and no errors. Jeter Sherman back to work in the top of the 4th inning, and Jude Hall is the leadoff man. The first pitch is at the bottom of the zone, strike 1 from Jeter Sherman. Now comes back with the second pitch and is down, ball 1. Bend scoring 3 runs, all on home runs. A solo shot in the first inning and a 2-run bomb in the third. Meanwhile, Ridgefield had a 2-out rally for a run in the first, is their only score today. Hard-hitting foul ball by Jude Hall. And it's strike 2. He grounded into a double play in the second inning. Will not do the same thing here. Leading off here in the 4th. Infield playing back. Outfield as well. The 1-2 from Sherman is down and away on the 2-seam fastball, and it's 2-2. Both Welker and Sukata playing behind the infield turf. Sukata a full 5 feet behind the dark red turf, and Welker maybe a half step closer, but still in the green outfield grass. Well, turf technically, you get the idea. 2-2 from Sherman, breaking ball hit softly on the right side. Mawai fields, thinks about going to Sherman, and goes to first, not in time. Safea Mawai didn't know to throw it or run to first, chose late, and still may have gotten there in time. There was a bang-bang play, and Jude Hall is going to get a gift base hit there on an infield single, with Sherman kind of running late and Mawai not getting there in time. And Jude Hall will have a infield single on a little topper to the first baseman, and a hit that Ridgefield shouldn't have given up, but the leadoff man aboard. Riley Casper, the batter. And the first pitch is a ball. Now, this is a big spot here because if that runner scores, Ridgefield getting down by 3, and it would hurt a little bit extra to give up a run there on a batter they know shouldn't have reached. Now, if Sherman gets out of it here and manages to strand Jude Hall, it would be a big boost there to not let something like that get back to you. Sherman with the batter bunting. And Casper pulls back. The pitch was high, 2-0. So Hall hit a little ground ball to the first baseman and gets into first on a base hit. Give credit to Hall for laying that one out. Sherman with the 2-0 and a bunt attempt, push bunt, first base side, and foul. As Casper couldn't lay that one down in fair territory. He singled to center field in the second inning, but was forced out at second base to close the inning on a fielder's choice that was somewhat controversial. If it was called safe, it would have been first and second with 2 down, but they ruled Sukata kept his foot on the bag. Now Casper again lines one into center field. That's down for a base hit, and Jude Hall will scamper to third base. It's runners on the corners with nobody out. And so Ben taking advantage here of that gift single. They haven't scored him yet. The Jude Hall at third with no outs after Riley Casper's single into center field. He's 2 for 2 today. And now Michael Ball, the batter. Well hit single. Ridgefield playing no doubles right now with the outfielders deep, and indeed prevent the double there. If Cavanis was playing more shallow, that might have gotten past him to the wall. But playing deep, he was able to cut that one off. But the runner from first did go first to third, in Jude Hall with good speed. Now the first pitch to Michael Ball is off the inside, ball 1 from Jeter Sherman. Down by 2, and Bend is threatening here. Nobody out, top of the 4th. A runner on first and on third. The 1-0 pitch is swung on, and a high fly ball to right field. Jacob Sharp looking up, should have a play on it. Makes the catch. Jude Hall tags, and he will score without a throw. So that gift single does lead to a run on a sac fly by Michael Ball. The runner from first, Casper, comes off the bag, but ultimately retreats back to first base. And so a run comes in here for the Bend Elks in the 4th inning. Ridgefield now has a 3-run margin not in their favor. And the top of the order coming up. One away, and Elijah Jackson coming up. Third time through the order for Jeter Sherman. Jeter comes in with a breaking ball. Off the inside, ball one. Jeter still had some good stuff today. Struck out the side last inning and has 5 strikeouts today. And is now tied for the team lead with 35 strikeouts. The 1-0 with the runner going, a hit and run. And Jackson swipes at it and fouls it back, with Riley Casper attempting to steal second on the play. But he'll have to go back to first. Ben Hart was the guy with 35 strikeouts, and Jeter Sherman has caught up with Ben in far fewer innings. Ben Hart had 10 more innings coming into this game, and Jeter Sherman now in the 4th inning today. So still 6 fewer innings than Ben Hart, has the same number of strikeouts to tie the team lead. 1-1 pitch is blocked by Isaac Lovings, and a 2-1 count now to Elijah Jackson. And a ground rule double in the 3rd inning, last frame, to lead off the inning. Ground rule double that bounced over the right center wall, and he scored a couple pitches later on a home run. That gave Ben the lead. 2-1 breaking ball inside, and a 3-1 count. Jackson went 1 for 2 yesterday with a pair of walks. Ben did not hit particularly well, just 6 hits, but Jackson got aboard 3 times. Again at the top of the order today, takes a pitch on the outer half, full count. Middle infielders pinch towards double play depth. Top of the 4th inning. Sherman trying to get the second out, maybe more. The 3-2 pitch with a runner going, and he fouls it high and deep down the right field side and out of play. So Riley Casper has attempted to steal twice this at-bat, and the same result, foul balls both times. Jackson from Chico State scores today. Had been on a hot streak, had scored 11 runs in his previous 6 games coming into yesterday, but did not score yesterday. But has touched home plate once today. Here's the payoff, taken at the knees. He knew it, Sherman knew it. Strike 3 taken, 2 down. That is the 6th strikeout of the day for Jeter Sherman. And Jeter Sherman is now the strikeout leader for the Ridgefield Raptors. 36th strikeout on the year for Jeter Sherman. And nobody on the team has more than Jeets. Now trying to get one more out and get out of this inning. Evan Scavato, the batter. Casper stealing again. Lovings throws down to second. Came off the bag, and he's called out at second base. Casper went too far over the base. Was easily safe at first. I thought he probably got his foot back in there. It was close on the tag on the back half, and it will go down as a caught stealing. And so Casper is caught stealing his 3rd attempt of the inning. The first 2 had been fouled away. And then finally he got there in time and maybe got back in time, but was tagged out, inning over. And we head to the bottom of the 4th. Ben does get 1 run on a little infield single that leads to a score. And they ultimately get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning with the Bend Elks leading it 4-1.
This is WSU Vancouver, Southwest Washington's only 4-year research university. Whether in person or via distance delivery, WSU Vancouver offers high-quality education and an employer-respected degree. You'll get a small school feel and the kind of place where you know you matter. Here, you'll get personalized education that brings out the best in you and inspires you to achieve your highest goals. Now, what are you waiting for? Apply today.
C-Tran is your public transit system offering service in Clark County and beyond. Catch local service in Clark County, plus regional and express service to Portland. And now you can ride the current C-Tran's new on-demand service operating in Ridgefield and other areas. So leave the driving to us. C-Tran will take you out to the ball game and anywhere else you need to go. Visit c-tran.com for more information. C-Tran, our community, our promise.
Well, the Ridgefield Raptors came back from one deficit today. They'll need to come back from another. They trailed 1-0 into their first at-bat of the day and scored one run to tie it up at one apiece, and then nobody scored in the second inning, but then Bend has scored 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and it's now 4-1. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Safea Mawai will lead off, facing Braden Boisvert. Mawai and Boisvert to begin the home fourth. McCarthy and Doyle Kane will follow for the Ridgefield Raptors. Braden Boisvert from the stretch, and a first pitch fastball is low. Ball 1 to Safea Mawai. Yesterday, 2 for 2. Had a single in his first at-bat, a double in his next at-bat, and then walked 3 times in a row. Scored 2 runs in the game and had 2 runs batted in. The 1-0 to Safea is grounded on the first base side and foul. Had an RBI single in the first inning today, the only RBI so far for the Raptors. The second baseman, Michael Ball, playing in the outfield turf. It would be an exaggeration to call it a shift. He's in normal positioning laterally, just deep. And the outfield playing a step deep, but not all that far back. The 1-1 to Mawai is down in the turf, ball 2. Boisvert made 10 appearances for Oregon State this year. Did not get an at-bat. He was a two-way player at Seward County Community College and is a two-way player for Oregon State, but mainly a PO. As Mawai lifts one to shallow left center field. Hall coming in. A sliding attempt from Cooney. He can't get there. And Mawai into first base on a pop fly single into shallow left center. And a leadoff base hit for Safea Mawai. He's now 4 for 4 on the series. 3 singles and a double. And he has reached all 7 plate appearances. 3 walks, 4 hits. And he hopes to score his 3rd run of the series after his leadoff base hit. Riley McCarthy, the batter. Nobody out, bottom of the 4th. Boisvert from the stretch, and a fastball at the knees for strike 1. McCarthy, who has 100 plate appearances on the season, would actually be second in the league in batting average if he qualified. He comes in hitting .398. Only his teammate Trent Prokes has a better average. The 0-1 to McCarthy is fouled away, and it's 0-2 on Riley. The Vancouver native, 7 doubles and a home run on the year. Batting average almost .400, but he does not have enough plate appearances to qualify. He's somewhat close, but not enough to get it even if he started the next couple of games. He's behind by 17 plate appearances. Ropes one right to the third baseman. Caught. Mawai's off first base. The throw back from Scavato is in time. And it's a 5-3 double play. Scavato snagged it on the screamer right at him. And Mawai's first step was to second base. And he is doubled off at first. And there's 2 down here in the 4th. Good play by Scavato to throw over to Casper. And that clears the bases for Doyle Kane. 2 down, bottom of the 4th inning. And a 3-run ball game. Bend is in front. Eden Health is the difference in home health, home care, and hospice. Call today to join our family. That's Eden Health. Doyle Kane waving the tan bat around. The composite DeMarini takes it outside, and ball 1 from Braden Boisvert. Kane on a 4-game hit streak, and not just 1 for 5 type of games. He has 8 hits in his last 3 games, and on a 4-game hit streak. Went 2 for 3 yesterday. 2 walks as well. The 1-0 to Doyle is off the outside, ball 2. Austin Cavanis on deck. Doyle Kane at the plate. There is some activity right now in the Ridgefield bullpen. Jacob Kokeni is loosening out in left field. The 2-0 to Doyle is taken down the pipe, strike 1. And a 2-1 count to the Santa Clarita native. Not only a .366 batting average, but he gets on base a lot via walks. And he's been a really productive guy. 2-1 pitch is inside, almost hit him. And he turns away from it, 3-1 the count. 22 walks on the year for Doyle Kane, which does lead the team. So a really good clip for Doyle. 3-1 pitch, swings over it, a foul tip, and strike 2. Full count, 2 down, bases empty. Down by 3 to the Bend Elks. Ridgefield won game 1 of this series. They don't want to have the series tied up. Here's the payoff to Doyle Kane. Breaking ball hit on the ground between the third baseman and shortstop into left. Base hit. Doyle Kane extends the hit streak to a modest 5-gamer. And he singles with 2 down. And it'll bring up Austin Cavanis. .264 batting average for Austin. And he comes up to the plate for his second shot against Braden Boisvert. Left-handed batter and center fielder for Ridgefield. Puts the bat over his shoulder and takes a pitch outside, ball 1. Mentioned his parents came in to help him out after his hip surgery about 8 months ago, not even. Randy and Karen coming in from Chico to San Luis Obispo. He pops up the second pitch, foul, 1-1. It's important because, like I said, with the surgery, he was instructed by the doctors, don't engage your hip flexor. It's going to possibly ruin what we did, the fix that we did on the lower part. And it was really a back surgery and hip issue, kind of figuring it all out. And so he had to make sure I couldn't just live by himself for a little while. 1-1 pitch is taken, down and away. On his hip, it was kind of a genetic issue he had that the doctors recognized, but then he also took a misstep and caused some problems in a scrimmage that kind of necessitated the surgery. 2-1 pitch, he hits it in the air, left side, will get out of play. And a 2-2 count to Austin Cavanis. He actually waited 3 weeks to have surgery. The first week after hurting it was pretty brutal, or after the surgery. But his parents were there. He did get a medical red shirt, and so he saves a year of eligibility and still has 3 years left to play at Cal Poly. The 2-2 swung on and sliced foul. Good at bat for Cavanis to make some contact, stay alive. Now he feels like he knows the Cal Poly program a lot better, having been there for a year. If he had come in and played, he felt like, yeah, I could have done well, but now I've been there, I know everybody, I know the system. I can have a better first year than I would have otherwise have. A pitch high and away on the off speed, and it's a full count now to Austin Cavanis, 3-2. He calls it kind of a blessing in disguise. After all, didn't have to use any eligibility. You can take more classes and make the most of it. Here's the payoff pitch to Cavanis. Runners going, a line drive to the shortstop, bounces in front of Jackson, fields cleanly, throws to second base, and puts away Cavanis. That retires the side. Ridgefield does get 1 hit, but no runs, and strands Doyle Kane at first base. We are done with 4 innings here at the Ridgefield Outdoor Recreation Complex. And it looks like Jacob Kokeni will come in to pitch for the Raptors when we return.
A .380 batting average is like using Dawn as your mortgage lender. She has over 30 years rounding the bases to a new home and loves helping families build their dreams. Know anyone buying their first home? Would you like to make a cash offer on your next purchase? Evergreen Home Loans can help with several loan options. Call Dawn today to get started. 360-608-7438. Again, that's 360-608-7438. She would love to send you home. Go Raptors.
I'm all about keeping my family driving safe. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So I insist we choose Les Schwab tires for safety services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Stuff those cheap tire centers don't offer. Because I want a backseat drive with confidence. Dad, speed check.
Help maximize your mileage with a free safety check. Just swing by. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing. Applies to passenger cars, SUVs, and light trucks only.
Making his 11th appearance on the year. Jacob Kokeni comes in for the Ridgefield Raptors. Out of San Diego Christian College, the right-hander from Cupertino, California, will come in and face the Bend Elks here in the top half of the 5th inning. 4 innings in the books, and the Bend Elks lead it. High score of 4-1. Trying to get back and get game 2 against the Raptors. In the first series between these two teams, Ridgefield won the opener and then proceeded to lose the next 2 games. First time ever that the Bend Elks have beaten Ridgefield in a series. These two teams played a pair of series in 2019, played 3 series last year, and 1 series this year. So the 6th series was the first time that Bend ever beat Ridgefield, 2 out of 3. Ridgefield actually had a 14-game win streak over the Elks that was snapped last week. Jacob Kokeni comes in to pitch Evan Scavato's spot in the lineup. And the first pitch is a strike to Scavato, who homered in his last at-bat. He is 1 for 2 with a 2-run bomb that gave Bend the lead. That was back in the 3rd inning, second batter of the inning. A double and a home run to start. The 0-1 from Kokeni is a bit high. Scavato holds back, and ball 1. So Jeter Sherman's day is done. First time all year he gives up multiple earned runs. 4 innings, 4 runs, all earned. He did strike out 6 and is now the team leader in strikeouts. The 1-1 from Kokeni is a 2-seamer fouled away. And a 1-2 count from Jacob Kokeni. Jacob throws a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seamer, a curveball, and a changeup. Uses the 2-seamer there to get the foul ball. 1-2 the count to Evan Scavato. A .356 batting average to his name this summer. Top of the 5th, here's the 1-2 from Kokeni, another 2-seamer. This one fouled back into the hand of Brady Casper in the on-deck circle. Casper has a home run as well. The 2 and 3 hitters in this lineup each have homered and have the RBIs that got them up 3-1. They added 1 more run last inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Jacob Kokeni from this stretch and misses outside on the off-speed, ball 2. Outfield playing deep, the wind blowing steadily out to right field. About an hour shy of sunset here in Southwest Washington. For a game that has gone fairly fast, just slightly quicker than average. 2-2 is taken on the outer half. Jacob Kokeni slices and dices and strikes out Scavato to begin the top of the 1st. Strikes out the first man he sees. And now Brady Casper to the plate. Jacob Kokeni, who was supposed to be a Ridgefield Raptor last year, didn't actually work to come here, or back in 2020, really. As the first pitch to Casper is down for a ball. Due to COVID, Ridgefield nor any team in the West Coast League played in 2020. Nobody did. And so that's why Jacob didn't show up in 2020 and then decided not to come last summer and then said, okay, I'm ready, and comes up for this summer. So he could have played last year and would have been teammates with Brady Casper. The 1-0 is hit hard down the right field line. It is a foul ball, but barreled pretty darn hard by Casper, who already has a home run that way earlier today. But this one not straight enough. And it's strike 1 on Brady Casper. Last year, Brady had a 3-run home run to right field, but it was late in a loss down the home stretch of the season. He joined in the first half for Ridgefield and played a fair amount of right field, a little bit of second base. 1-1 pitch is on the outer half, strike 2. At 90 miles an hour from Jacob Kokeni. Kokeni from the stretch, the 1-2. And it swung on, a tapper first base side. Safea Mawai fields on the first bounce, will go to Brady and tag him out at first base. Mawai sprinted in to field on the first hop and needed to get there early because he almost did not get Brady Casper in time, who tried to slide under the tag and tried his hardest, but Mawai tags him out. It's an unassisted put out, and there's 2 down. Coaches will tell you, don't slide into first base unless avoiding a tag. And that's one of those cases where You can't fault Brady Casper for sliding into first, and it almost worked. He's out and 2 down. Bo Sylvester, the batter. A single and a walk today for Bo Sylvester. It's a good play by Mawai, much more decisive last inning. A soft topper to Mawai, and he waited on it, fielded, and then started a toss to first to the pitcher, and then changed his mind, and then tried to run to first, and by the time he got there, he was too late, and that led to a run as that guy, Jude Hall, ended up scoring. This time, Safea Mawai has no hesitancy, and he gets the out, just barely. Second pitch misses. It's 2-0 to Bo Sylvester. A .358 average for the incoming freshman at Oklahoma State. Switching from UW partway through this summer. Takes a half swing and goes around. It's 2-1 from the Hawaiian from Kailua, Hawaii. There's the first baseman, Mawai, who just made that play moments ago. Safea is from Hilo, Hawaii. Safea has played 1 year of college ball so far. Headed to BYU this year. 2-1 pitch is inside. Did he go around? And on appeal, no. And a 3-1 count to Bo Sylvester. Sylvester with a single and a walk. Does not have an RBI today, but he is the league leader in runs batted in with 43 of them. He is on pace for 53, which would set the league record if he gets there. 3-1 pitch. He swings late. Strike 2. Last season, 51 RBIs by Ridgefield Raptors' own Caden Connor. It is tied for the league record, set in 2014, tied last year by Caden. In a shorter season, just 48 league games, and he's still tied for first. Here's the payoff to Sylvester. He hacks at it and chops it past Joey Wong on the third base side. And a 3-2 count to Bo Sylvester still. With 2 down, the base is empty. Jacob Kokeni hoping to go 1-2-3 in his first inning out of the pen. So again, 51 RBIs is the record. They have 11 games left. If Sylvester can get there. 3-2 pitch. It is just high. And ball 4. A 2-out walk to Bo Sylvester, who has reached all 3 times today. The last 2 are walks on full count pitches. Wilson Weber, the batter, who has struck out twice looking. Out of OSU. In fact, 3 guys in a row in this order from OSU, although that's kind of wrong. I mean, Brady Casper from Oregon State, Sylvester going to Oklahoma State, and then Wilson Weber at Oregon State. In a strike at the bottom of the zone, it's 0-1. Weber had his 100th at-bat of the summer in the first inning, struck out, and did the same in the third inning on at-bat number 101. Now he's behind 0-1. With 2 down, man on first. Kokeni throws outside on the biting 2-seam fastball. And ball 1 to Wilson Weber. Out of Gresham, Oregon. Not far from Portland. And not all that far from here. He went to Sam Barlow High School, a 6A school south of the border. Takes a big hack and does not catch up. It's strike 2, 1-2. His fellow Barlow High School teammate, a couple years older than him, or just 1 year older than him, if I'm not mistaken, is Jaron Hunter, pitched for the Ridgefield Raptors last year. The 1-2 from Kokeni, curveball hit up the middle and past Travis Welker into center field. Base hit. Bo Sylvester will stop at second base. It's a 2-out single for Wilson Weber. And now there's runners in first and second with 2 outs. And Christian Cooney, the batter. Bend hoping to extend the 4-1 lead. Still a manageable deficit for Ridgefield, but don't want to allow a 2-out rally here in the 5th inning. The shadows starting to cover the playing surface here as Cooney takes a strike. The left side foul territory now in the shadows, and a band running across the mound just about to reach the toenails of Jacob Kokeni. From the stretch and comes set with his hands belt high. The 0-1 from Jacob. Breaking ball hit on the ground left side. Travis Welker fields. He'll go to third for the force out and gets the out on the short throw for the fielder's choice. 6-5. And that's the inning. Jacob Kokeni gets the first 2 guys out. Then allows 2 base runners but strands them both. And no runs in in the 5th inning for the Elks. We're halfway through this contest. It's Bend 4 and Ridgefield 1.
Ridgefield Main Street is working to keep our small town charm intact while enhancing the economic opportunities for businesses located in our downtown. Follow Pioneer Street West to experience the heart of Ridgefield. At Eden Health, our commitment is to caring. We recognize the importance of caring for others, and we consider it a privilege. We are committed to addressing our patients' specific needs, providing hands-on care and services, helping families through tough situations, and supporting our fellow employees. We listen, build relationships, and go above and beyond to create meaningful experiences throughout our continuum of care. Whether you find yourself a patient to any of the Eden Health services lines or you become part of our team, you will notice the Eden Health difference.
Well, making a second appearance on the year, Joe Ball comes in for the Bend Elks in the bottom of the 5th inning. Thanks for joining us on the Raptors live stream. I'm Josh Warden as the Raptors trying to make a comeback here to win their 26th game of the year. They're 9-7 in the second half. Bend is 7-9 in the second half. Bend is 1 fewer win, 2 more losses. Ridgefield 25-17. Bend is 24-19. And so Ridgefield a game and a half over Bend. They're both in playoff positioning, 3rd and 4th in the league, or in the Southern Division. 4 teams do get in, but Yakima Valley at their heels and also in contention to win the second half. And if Yakima Valley wins the second half, even if they don't have a better record than Bend or Ridgefield, they would bump out one of those teams. And whatever team that's in 4th place would not make it in. That's the benefit of having a second half winner, is that, hey, if you have the worst record in the league, which Yakima Valley did, you start over 0-0 and you have a chance to get into the playoffs, but you have to finish first. If you get 2nd in the second half, that doesn't get you in. You'd have to still get the wild card and all that jazz. So coming down the home stretch, and Ridgefield in playoff contention, but just barely. Isaac Lovings will lead off, bottom of the 5th, a 4-1 deficit. And Joe Ball misses outside 1-0 to Isaac Lovings. Just his 2nd inning on the summer for Joe Ball, left-hander from Southridge High School and from Beaverton, Oregon. Same as Isaac Lovings. They're both from Beaverton. Joe Ball, who went to Southridge, whereas Isaac Lovings went to Sunset High School. Now facing off in the West Coast League. The 2-0 from Joe Ball is outside on the corner, strike 1. Isaac plays at the D3 level at Pacific University, whereas Joe Ball plays at the NAIA level, transferring from Lane Community College to play for Lewis Clark State in Lewiston, Idaho. 2-1 breaking ball is not close. And ball 3. So a matchup of the Skyhawks and the Apollos. Pretty good mascots. Southridge High School and Sunset High. 3-1 to Lovings. He swings just a bit late and fouls it back. And it's a full count from Joe Ball. His younger brother, Michael, is the second baseman, playing almost directly behind him. Well, a few steps to the right, but playing towards the middle behind his older bro. Here's the payoff to Isaac Lovings, and it almost hit him. It's ball 4, and Isaac Lovings draws a leadoff walk. So Mikey Kane will come to the plate. 9-hole hitter trying to turn the lineup over for the Raptors and get aboard. Ridgefield needs some base runners. They trail by 3. A lot of time to work with. Still have this inning and 4 more. But they have not hit particularly well against Bend today. Just a run in the first inning, and that's been it. They have gone scoreless the last 3 innings. Bottom of the 5th. Joe Ball from the stretch and a fastball outside. Ball 1. Mikey Kane only faced Braden Boisvert one time. His future college teammate had a long at bat against him and ultimately fouled out. Now in his second AB of the day, facing Joe Ball. 1-0 is swung on and a high fly ball to center field. High, not too deep. Jude Hall, a late break, runs in, makes the catch. He will throw to first, and Lovings gets back to throw past the first baseman. Lovings will stay there. And it's just a simple F8 in the box score, and it was more fun than that, but that's all it'll be. And just a fly out for Mikey Kane. And there's one out here in the 5th inning. Lovings got pretty far off at first base because it looked like that ball might drop, as Jude Hall, I don't think he saw it at first or didn't know how far it was going, and then at a little bit late started to run in and had time. It was a high fly ball, so he got under it, made the catch, but could not get it to first in time to get Isaac Lovings. Now Jake Sukata, the batter, ground ball through the right side on the first pitch. Base hit to the right fielder, and Lovings advances one station. And now runners on first and second for the Raptors, as Jake Sukata has reached all 3 times today. 2 singles and a walk. And he's now 5 for 7 on the series. He has scored just once, however, of the 8 times he has reached. We'll see if he can come home here. Tying run at the plate. Bottom of the 5th, 4-1 deficit. Travis Welker steps in with Lovings at second, Sukata at first. Joe Ball with 1 out. From the stretch, the lefty deals inside a ball to Travis Welker, who was grounded out and flied out today. Is on a 5-game hit streak, 4 of them multi-hit games, including yesterday going 3 for 5. The 1-0 offering to Welker is off the plate, ball 2 to Travis. Had 2 base hits yesterday to right center field, also had one through the left side of the infield. Right-hand batter, and the shortstop is ahead in the count. With 1 out, the 2-0 is taken just above the belt, and Welker is now ahead 3-0. On deck is Jacob Sharp, the home run slugger. He could come up with the bases loaded. 1 ball away from doing so. Joe Ball from the stretch, and the 3-0 is at the kneecaps. Strike 1. Still a hitter's count for Travis Welker. He's batting .341 on the summer. Looking for his 20th RBI. The 3-1 pitch to Travis Welker is swung on. Hard hit to left field. Cooney going back, stops, makes the catch in front of the warning track, and the runners will retreat back to where they started. It's a loud fly out and a well hit one, but no help from the wind and the deepest part of the ballpark, the hardest hit spot. You don't see home runs to left field very often here at the Rourke. Right field, that's a different story. But Travis Welker gets a hold of one of his hardest hit balls of the summer, but it ends in a fly out. 2 down, Jacob Sharp, the batter. And 2 aboard for Jacob. He is the tying run with 2 down. Joe Ball deals a strike, ground ball up the middle, off the mound, into center field. Isaac Lovings will round third. He keeps on chugging, and no throw. Isaac Lovings cruises in. It's an RBI single for Jacob Sharp. It's a 2-run ball game. On the first pitch, and Jacob Sharp helps Ridgefield score for the first time since the first inning. Isaac Lovings comes in. Sukata stopped at second. And now Safea Mawai, the batter, representing the go-ahead run. But there are 2 outs in the home 5th inning. 4-2 is the score. Ridgefield gets a run in the first inning off the bullpen. Big lead for Sharp. Breaking ball. Mawai swings out ahead of it and just got a piece as it rolls behind home plate. And strike 1 on Mawai. Safea has not been retired as a batter this series. He did get doubled off first base in a line drive, so he has been put out, but as a batter, he is 4 for 4 this series with 3 walks The 0-1 is swung on. He got jammed and actually didn't even make contact. Probably would have gotten jammed a little bit late on the inside fastball. And now he's behind 0-2. Joe Ball has given up 1 run, but if he gets out of it here, would keep the Elks ahead by a couple and could strand 2 runners. The 0-2 to Safea, breaking ball, got him to chase, strike 3, inning over. Joe Ball allows some runners on, but ultimately not too much damage. Stranding 2 and allowing 1 run on 2 hits and 2 left aboard. We head to the top of the 6th inning. The Raptors trail 4-2.
C-Tran is your public transit system offering service in Clark County and beyond. Catch local service in Clark County, plus regional and express service to Portland. And now you can ride the current C-Tran's new on-demand service operating in Ridgefield and other areas. So leave the driving to us. C-Tran will take you out to the ball game and anywhere else you need to go. Visit c-tran.com for more information. C-Tran, our community, our promise.
Dick Hanna Dealerships is proud to welcome everyone back to support our Ridgefield Raptors. Just in time for warm summer nights with family and friends, lounging on the lawn, or eating dogs in the stands. Feels good to be back. In business for over 70 years, Dick Hanna Dealerships is a local, family-owned business with locations in Vancouver, Kelso, and Portland. Choose from thousands of cars and 12 new car brands. Experience nice in the car business. Dick Hanna Dealerships. Believe in nice. Now play ball.
Well, Jacob Kokeni pitched a scoreless 5th inning and comes back out to double dip. Top of the 6th, a 4-2 ball game. Bend has the upper hand so far. They had a 1-run lead in the first. That one got canceled out. They had a 3-run lead after the 4th. It has been slimmed by 1 run, but they still lead by multiple runs. Jude Hall, the batter, against Jacob Kokeni. Top of the 6th, and the first pitch to Jude Hall is outside. Hall does have a base hit today and shouldn't have, really, and I think he would admit that as well. A soft grounder to Safea Mawai, who caught it behind the bag on a bounce and hesitated, didn't run to first at time, and then chose late, and Hall beat him out and got credit for a single out of it. As the fastball from Kokeni goes over Loving's head to the backstop, and ball 2-0 to Jude Hall, who went 1 for 4 yesterday, 1 for 2 today. And so he's now 4 for 13 against the Raptors this summer. Just about even with his batting average. He hits .250. Breaking ball, he levels it to right field. Pretty hard hit. It lands just foul. Oh, that one tailed pretty hard off the bat. I thought that was easily a fair ball. Landed about 240 feet away from home plate and would have gotten into the corner for at least a double. And Jude Hall, who has great speed, led Yavapai College this year in stolen bases. Maybe could have gotten a triple out of it, but instead is just credited with a strike. And it's 2-1 to Jude Hall. Jacob Kokeni throws home, and a fastball down, 3-1 to Jude Hall. Got 2 doubles, 2 home runs. Left-handed batter leading off here, just like he did with that infield single in the 4th inning. Kokeni is behind 3 balls and a strike. Breaking ball again hit first base side off the glove of Mawai into right field. Jude Hall gets around first and will stop there. On a screamer to Mawai and handcuffed him into right field. And we'll get credit for a hit on the play. And Jude Hall is now 2 for 3 on the day. Mawai going down to a knee to try to handle that one. Clipped off him. And as a leadoff single, and now Riley Casper, the batter. Top of the sixth, Kokeni with the fastball hit through the right side, almost hit Hall and into right field. Hall will scoot to third, and he gets in there safely, diving head first. A first pitch single for Casper. He stays at first base, and now there's runners in the corners with nobody out here in the sixth inning. Ground ball going opposite way for Riley Casper, who's now got 3 singles on the day. And Jude Hall gets all the way to third base on the sequence. And now Michael Ball is the batter. Ball trying to provide some run support for his older brother. And has runners on the corners, nobody out, top of the sixth. Back-to-back singles to open up the frame. Jacob Kokeni trying to slow things down. First pitch fastball at the knee, strike one. The outfield still in the sun. The infield mostly in the shadows. On a pretty sunny day here in Southwest Washington. The 0-1 from Jacob Kokeni. The closed stance, and now bunting. Ball pulls back, and it ends up low. On a safety squeeze, perhaps. Jude Hall does have good speed, and so a bunt could score him, perhaps, but he does not place one down. The corner infielders, even with the bags. Middle infielders playing towards second base. 1 ball and a strike to Michael Ball. He's swinging away and fouls it back. So they consider a safety squeeze. Don't try for a second time at it. And now it's strike 2 on Michael Ball. He's grounded into a fielder's choice. Does have a sac fly on the day and could get another one of those here. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Jacob Kokeni. From the stretch, fastball blooped into shallow right. Sukata going back. It's over his head into right field. Base hit. It'll score a run as Jude Hall tags up from third and then sees it hit the turf and can scamper home on the RBI single for Michael Ball. And the Elks get that run back that Ridgefield scored last inning. And it's now back to a 3-run margin. 5-2. Bend in front. Riley Casper into second base. Ball into first. And 3 straight singles here in the 6th inning. To open the inning, still nobody out. Top of the order coming up. Elijah Jackson at the plate to face Jacob Kokeni. There is some activity in the bullpen. I believe that's Aiden Vespi out in the pen. We'll double check. Kokeni with the first pitch is down and away for a ball. And it's 1-0 to Elijah Jackson. And it is Aiden Vespi out in the pen. 1-0 from Kokeni, and a fastball hit on the ground. Sukata up with it on the second bounce, goes to second. Welker the turn easily in time to get Elijah Jackson, and Ridgefield needed a double play there. They get one, a 4-6-3 twin killing, and that does push a runner to third in Riley Casper, but they get 2 outs out of it. And now Evan Scavato comes up. 2 down, man on third, a 3-run deficit, but Ridgefield within striking distance as long as they don't allow too many more runs. And they have a chance to allow no more runs here in this inning with now 2 down. Scavato the batter, 1 for 3 with a dinger today. Scavato looking at third base, now spikes the fastball, and a good block by Isaac Levings. It's 1-0. Levings with the block. He's likes the 1-foot stance. You see catchers nowadays go to the 1 foot down rather than the traditional crouch. 1-0 pitch, and Levings again, a textbook block there on the pitch in the turf to keep the runner at third base, otherwise could have scored. Now with runners on the bases, Levings will opt for the traditional crouch, especially man on third, because pass ball or a wild pitch is going to score a run. Now it goes to a 1 foot down, a ground ball, and it's up the middle and a base hit. Evan Scavato bounces one into center field, and he'll get an RBI out of it. Bend has 2 runs in the inning. Riley Casper scores on the RBI single by Evan Scavato. Bend opens up its biggest lead of the game. It is 6-2. So Riley Casper scores. Brady Casper strides to the plate with 2 down and a man on first. Jacob Kokeni with his back to the runner. Comes to the plate with a breaking ball. This one laced down the right field side and foul by about 10 feet. But Brady Casper, the younger of the two, got a hold of it. Has a home run that way and had a really hard hit foul ball last at bat. And again, barrels one up into foul territory. One of those has been straight, and it was for a home run to right field in the first inning. The 0-1 to Brady has popped up on the left side. We'll get into the seats. 2 down, man on first, and a 6-2 lead for the Elks. Mentioned that Isaac Lovings likes the 1 foot down, kind of untraditional, although it's much more common now, but that stance behind the plate. Part of the reason is just easier on the knees. I mean, catchers have it tough, and so to not have to do the normal traditional crouch like he's in right now, it's much easier over the course of days and months and years in that stance. The 0-2 from Kokeni is just outside, ball 1. I've heard some people say that they can block better or just as good with 1 foot down. Lovings admits that's not really the case. It makes it harder to block, but it is easier to see lower pitches and frame pitches at the bottom of the zone, however. So there's give and take. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Brady over the top of it, and Jacob Kokeni strikes him out to end the inning. However, Bend does score 2 runs on the frame, and they rack up 4 hits in the inning. No errors and a runner left at first base. And Bend gets the biggest lead of the game. We head to the bottom of the 6th. The Elks lead it 6-2.
Hey baseball fans, after the game visit A, the area's premier gaming, dining, entertainment, and meeting destination. A is a proud supporter of the Ridgefield Raptors and the perfect place to meet up with friends after a Raptors win for dinner, drinks, and great times. Keep the fun and excitement going after the 9th inning and grab beers at Tom's Urban, or enjoy a perfectly cooked porterhouse at Michael Jordan's Steakhouse. With 100,000 square feet of gaming space, 15 different restaurants, bars, and retail outlets to choose from, A has just what you need to turn your night at the ballgame into a night you won't forget. A, just off I-5 at exit 16, ILANIresort.com.
A .380 batting average is like using Dawn as your mortgage lender. She has over 30 years rounding the bases to a new home and loves helping families build their dreams. Know anyone buying their first home? Would you like to make a cash offer on your next purchase? Evergreen Home Loans can help with several loan options. Call Dawn today to get started. 360-608-7438. Again, that's 360-608-7438. She would love to send you home. Go Raptors.
Into the bottom of the 6th inning here from the Rourke in Southwest Washington. Thanks for joining us on the Raptors live stream. Josh Warden along with you. As we move on to the home half of the 6th inning, Riley McCarthy will lead off. Doyle Kane, the batter, and Austin Cavanis are the scheduled hitters. McCarthy, Kane, Cavanis. As Ridgefield tries to come back from a deficit, down 6-2 in this ball game. And McCarthy will face a new pitcher in Shane Buchanan. The right-hander steps in for his first appearance of this series against Riley McCarthy, who is 0 for 2 on the day. Had a good day yesterday, 3 for 4. First pitch of the inning is a called strike, and it's 0-1. Ridgefield getting into the bullpen. Got 1 run off of Joe Ball last inning, but then gave up 2 runs. And so Bend has outpaced the Raptors so far, 6-2. Buchanan with the 0-1 offering, and it's swung on, grounded foul to Chris Cota beyond the third base coaching box and barely even in the vicinity of the box, but that's okay. Chris can go wherever he wants in my book. About 10 yards behind the box beyond third base. 0-2 the count. Shane Buchanan comes set to Riley McCarthy. The side armor goes outside to the backstop, ball 1. McCarthy on a 6-game hit streak, hoping to extend it. Comes into this game having hit 8 for 12 against Bend on the season with 9 RBIs and 2 doubles. 8 for 12, but he is 0 for 2 today. 1-2 pitch is a high chopper, third base side. Second bounce, fielded by Scavato, throws to first high and past the first baseman. McCarthy is safe and will stay there. As it was an odd hop, Scavato did field cleanly. Did have to rush his throw. It'll probably be an infield single just because of the fast-paced throw, but you could throw a throwing error. I'll leave it up to you. Your choice, Cage. I won't rush you. It's just that he had to throw fast is what I'm saying. He fielded cleanly, though. So, because of the rush. But if you say throwing error, I won't argue with you. But totally up to you. Doyle Kane to the plate. And a first pitch strike. And 0-1 the count from Shane Buchanan. Bottom of the 6th inning. Leadoff man aboard. And Doyle Kane takes it outside, ball 1. Austin Cavanis, the hitter. And we do go single on the play, so Riley McCarthy gets a base hit out of it. And now a 1-1 count to Doyle Kane. A ball outside, it's 2-1. Kane has a single and a ground out today. So Doyle is 1 for 2, a single through the left side, and there is a big hole on the left side here. He hits one up the middle, and a line drive snag by Ball, throws back to first. Bounced off the first baseman. Casper comes back for it and gets McCarthy. It's a line drive double play. McCarthy couldn't slide back in time and stumbled back into the bag, and it's a double play. Austin Cavanis will come up with 2 down, nobody on. There's a nice play by Michael Ball to snag it on the run, going away from first base. A jump throw back to first, bounced in front of Casper, mishandled it on the first bounce, but then it landed right in front of him. And McCarthy, who had stumbled back into first, a la Julio Rodriguez from about a week ago, and is tripled and then tagged out at third at what would have been a triple. And McCarthy's out at first base. 0-1 the count, and Cavanis swings over the 86-mile-an-hour toss from Shane Buchanan. It's 0-2. With 2 down and the base is empty. Bottom half of the 6th. And Shane Buchanan from the stretch, and a 2-seamer that's popped up on the left side. Gets out of play and remains an 0-2 count. The base is empty here in the 6th inning. Hey fans, the official chiropractor of the Ridgefield Raptors at Woodland Chiropractic is Dr. Bobby. They keep the Raptors ready for success, proudly servicing Southwest Washington for 11 years. Austin Cavanis takes a pitch that almost hits him in the ankles and got away from it. Ball 1. 1-2. Woodland Chiropractic offering a variety of health and wellness options. Our thanks to Woodland Chiropractic. 1-2 the count to Austin Cavanis, and another fastball that runs in and hits him this time. 2 pitches in a row that nearly hit him, and the second one did. And a 2-out hit by pitch. And Isaac Lovings will come up next. With a walk and a strikeout today. 2 down, man on first. Bottom half of the 6th inning. Outfield playing fairly deep and shifted a bit to the left side. Expecting Isaac Lovings to pull the ball. Second baseman Michael Ball also shifted towards the second base bag, so more to the left than normal as Lovings watches the first pitch down, ball 1. Austin Cavanis reaches base on the hit by pitch. Hoping to start a 2-out rally and cut into this deficit of 4 runs. The 1-0 to Lovings is down in the turf, and ball 2 to Isaac. Mentioned that his parents met at Oregon State, so when he plays the Corvallis Knights down at Goss Stadium, he gets to return to the city. That helps lead to his family's formation. He swings and grounds a soft one towards the shortstop. Running in as Jackson throws to first in time and retires the side. Just a 2-out hit by pitch, and that's all for the Ridgefield Raptors. in the bottom of the 6th inning. A 6-2 deficit still for the Raptors through 6 complete innings.
Ridgefield Main Street supports the Raptors and is dedicated to preserving the cultural heritage of downtown Ridgefield while advocating for its future. See you downtown and at ridgefieldmainstreet.com.
The Ridgefield Raptors are back, where the entire family can watch top-level college baseball players live at the Rourke. Now, kids 12 and under get in free with a paid adult for all Sunday afternoon Raptors games. Enjoy local Southwest Washington baseball with the whole family this summer. Sunday games are at 105 and are presented by Peace Health and the Columbian. Come cheer on your Ridgefield Raptors all season long. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
This is WSU Vancouver, Southwest Washington's only 4-year research university. Whether in person or via distance delivery, WSU Vancouver offers high-quality education and an employer-respected degree. You'll get a small school feel and the kind of place where you know you matter. Here, you'll get personalized education that brings out the best in you and inspires you to achieve your highest goals. Now, what are you waiting for? Apply today.
Through 6 innings from the Ridgefield Outdoor Recreation Complex, the Bend Elks have 6 runs on 12 hits and no errors. And the Ridgefield Raptors have 2 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. New pitcher into the ball game for the Raptors, right-hander from Reno, Nevada, and pitches for the NAIA program in Prescott, Arizona of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Aiden Vespi comes in to face the Bend Elks in the 7th inning. Aiden, who is a sophomore, 6 foot, 175 pounder, a 4-pitch mix. A lot of fastballs, also throws a curveball and a slider and a changeup. And so he'll come in for the Raptors in the top half of the 7th. Bend scored 1 run in the first. Ridgefield tied it up 1-1, but Bend scored 3 unanswered between the 2nd and 3rd innings, or pardon me, between the 3rd and 4th innings. Ridgefield did get 1 run back in the 5th to make it a 2-run ball game, but then Bend got that run back and 1 more, and so they lead 6-2. Scored those 2 runs last half inning, or their last time at the plate. Now Bo Sylvester is the first one that Aiden Vespi encounters, and the first pitch of Aiden Vespi's day is inside for a ball. There was a scoring change earlier. The Jude Hall leadoff single yesterday has been changed to an error on the hard hit ground ball to Safea Mawai, who is now charged with an E3. A ball away to Bo Sylvester. It's 2-0. It was hard hit and on a short hop, but ultimately the exit velocity 86. Not the easiest play, but probably the correct call to change that one to an error on Mawai. 2-0 from Aiden Vespi is hit high and deep to right field. Jacob Sharp running over. Might have a chance at it on the side wall, and it gets out of play. A foul ball off the bat of Bo Sylvester. Nobody's been able to get out Bo Sylvester out today. He has singled and walked, and then walked again. .358 batting average for Sylvester, who did not reach yesterday, the first time in the month of July that he did not have a hit. Went 0 for 4, but today got a single in his first at bat and has walked 2 times since then, both on full counts. Now has a 2-1 from Vespi, who lowers the fastball. 3-1 to Bo Sylvester. Wilson Weber on deck. Infield playing back, outfield playing very deep. Both corner infielders just in front of the warning track, and Austin Cavanis not much closer. The 3-1 from Aiden Vespi is taken, ball 4. A little bit low, and the 3rd straight walk that Bo Sylvester has drawn. He has not scored today, although he has reached now 4 times. But it's up to Wilson Weber to try to bring him home. Yesterday, Ridgefield held Sylvester in check, 0 for 4, and they were big at-bats. 3 of the final 3 at-bats, there were runners on and nobody out. and he was unable to continue those innings. He struck out twice. Fastball low. It's 1-0 to Weber. His last 2 at-bats, the inning had started. He was the 3rd guy up in the inning, and the guys before him both reached. So 2 innings in a row. Runners in first and second, nobody out. 2 at-bats in a row for Sylvester, and neither time he got aboard. He popped out and struck out in those 2 occasions. But hey, he's an incoming freshman. Everybody's got an 0 for 4 day every once in a while. A lot of players have those a lot of the time. Sylvester snaps a 16-game hit streak, but starts a new one today. Second pitch is a strike to Wilson Weber. Aiden Vespi then flashes the slider. Down and away. Ball 2. 2-1 to the Gresham, Oregon native, Wilson Weber. 1 for 3 on the day. Facing Aiden Vespi for the first time. 2-1 the count from Aiden, and a fastball just off the plate, ball 3. I was mentioning the catching stance of Isaac Levings earlier. And the flexibility to sometimes go on the 1 foot down stance or the more traditional crouch, which he's in at the moment. Now he gets set up and frames it for a strike to make the count full. 3-2. Wilson Weber beginning to cross the plate towards first base as if he had walked, and called a strike. 3-2. Nobody out. Man at first. Top of the 7th. A 6-2 deficit for the Raptors. Aiden Vespi from the stretch, and the payoff is swung on and fouled away. Isaac Levings grew up learning the traditional crouch. His father is a catching coach who had used to coach at Pacific University, and Isaac now plays for Pacific, although his dad, Kevin, has not coached there for about 8 years now. But he's still involved in it. In fact, has come here to Ridgefield and coached some of the catchers for the Raptors before some of these games. Here's the payoff to Weber, and it's just outside, ball 4. And back-to-back walks to begin this inning. Pushes Sylvester in his scoring position, and Wilson Weber to first base. Christian Cooney, the batter. 1 for 3 on the day. And a mound visit, and Tyler Raskin will come out to chat with Levings and Vespi here in the 7th inning. We'll mention just with the batting or the catching stance for Isaac Levings. The other part of it is, even though he grew up learning the traditional 2-knee stance, he started to toy with the 1-knee stance when he was at Concordia, his first school, as it was becoming more popular around that time. And before that, it's been more in vogue over the years, but especially now it's become a bigger talking point. In the MLB, it gets talked about from time to time. And Levings a few years ago in college started to like it, but his college coaches didn't like it at Concordia. They did not want him to do it. And part of the reason he does it now is because Concordia got shut down as a university. The whole school shut down. And once he heard that news, he started to say, well, look, I know I'm not going to play for you very much longer. And so he started to go to the 1-foot stance because he knew he'd be transferring somewhere and wanted to feel comfortable with his MO, and the transfer to Pacific, where the coaches are familiar and comfortable with him using that stance. Here's the first pitch after the mound visit, and Aiden Vespi gets the fastball past Christian Cooney. And it's an 0-1 count from Aiden Vespi. Vespi with 2 runners aboard after back-to-back walks. And nobody out from the stretch. They're showing bunt, and Cooney pops it up behind home plate. Not catchable for Levings or anybody else, but it is a strike on Cooney, and it's 0-2. Trying to bunt 2 runners into scoring position, and now he'll have to swing away. Bend has threatened several times with big innings, and they have scored 2 runs in 2 different innings, but they've never broken it open. They've not gotten that much distance over Ridgefield, but this inning may be different. 2 runners aboard, nobody out, but there is an 0-2 count from Aiden Vespi. Comes back with a fastball hit on the ground. Mawai snags it. Will try to throw to second, gets the out there, and gets a fielder's choice. Mawai fielded kind of a late throw back to second, but he does get Wilson Weber on the force out. Now it's runners at the corners on a 3-6 fielder's choice. Christian Cooney safe at first. Good play by Mawai to look that one into his glove and at least get 1 out, or else it would have been bases loaded, or honestly, a run probably would have scored if that ball got past Mawai. With the outfielders playing extremely deep, a ground ball to the right side is going to take forever for Jacob Sharp to come in and grab it. And so certainly a runner from second would have scored. Now runners at the corners, one away, and Jude Hall the batter. A 6-2 lead for the Bend Elks. Hall has a 1-for-3 day. His single was changed to an error in his most recent at-bat. So he has just one base hit and not two. A ball down and in. Lovings with the good block. Pretty good defensive catcher, and talked about his stance a lot, regardless of where he's at. He does a good job of blocking pitches. The coaches speak highly of his defensive prowess. Want to know the count. Aiden Vespi from the stretch. Runners on the edges and a fastball bottom of the zone and just below the strike zone. Ball 2. Riley Casper on deck, who's 3 for 3. Under the lights here in Southwest Washington. Beautiful day for baseball. And the temperatures find a little more mild now into the 7th inning. The 2-0 from Vespi is taken down Main Street, strike 1. Got into the low 90s today and was pretty darn hot, but we're down to the low 80s, 81 degrees, and we should reach the high 70s by the time this game concludes. 2 balls and a strike from Aiden Vespi, and a fastball that gets away from Lovings, and now both runners will try to advance, and Weber does score. Or Sylvester, pardon me, comes in from third, and Christian Cooney gets into second base. It's now 7-2. Bend takes the lead. I'd probably call it a pass ball. I mean, it didn't look like it wasn't in the dirt. I thought Lovings probably should have had it. So it's an unearned run, at least at the moment. And Bend takes their largest lead of the game and extends their largest lead. It's 7-2. Here's the 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed. And now a full count to Jude Hall at 90 miles an hour from Aiden Vespi. The hottest day of this little stint was yesterday. Not much cooler today. It'll be 94 tomorrow and back up to 96 on Friday. Here's the payoff from Aiden Vespi, and it's high, ball 4, his third walk of the inning. And that puts runners in first and second. And Riley Casper the batter. By the time we hit 96 on Friday, and then also it's 97 on Saturday, 93 on Sunday, we won't be here. We'll be down in Springfield. So if there's going to be a day to miss or a weekend to miss, man, it might be this one. Kind of glad we have a road trip. The first pitch to Casper is a called strike. I always love playing in Springfield. I don't want to. I mean, always love playing in Ridgefield. But if we're going to go to Springfield and miss a weekend, this one might be a good one. It'll be about the same heat, however, down at Springfield at 98 on the turf field down there. The 0-1 from Aiden Vespi is taken in the dirt, ball 1. 98 on Friday, 98 Saturday, 94 on Sunday down in the Eugene Springfield area. And so it's going to be a little hot stretch here for the Raptors as they need some wins here. In playoff positioning right now, but not by much. 1-1 offering is outside, 2-1. They're a half game ahead of Bend coming into the series. They got an extra game of difference by winning yesterday, so they're 1.5 games ahead of Bend. Now in the standings, Bend in 4th place, Ridgefield in 3rd. Here in the Southern Division. 2 balls and a strike from Aiden Vespi. The runners are going. A late swing, a miss. The throw down to second is in time. Isaac Lovings throws out Jude Hall, the trail runner, as Christian Cooney steals 3rd. But Hall is tossed out at second base. And 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Jude Hall got the first break, Cooney got the first run, and Hall picked him up and tried to steal second. And Lovings chose correctly, even though it's a shorter throw to 3rd, but he had a better chance at getting Hall out at second base. And he throws him out. 2-2 pitch, a grounder 3rd base side. Mikey Kane backhands in foul ground by a foot. And we'll do it all over again, 2-2. So top half of the 7th. And Bend has scored 1 run. They have 3 walks in the inning. It could be a lot worse. Riley Casper is the batter. The 2-2 pitch is taken. Strike 3 called. Casper, who was 3 for 3 on the day, he knew that one was strike 3. And Aiden Vespi strands a runner at third base. No hits, 1 run, 3 walks, and Ben adds on to the lead at 7-2. Time to stretch from Ridgefield. Bottom of the 7th coming up.
I'm all about keeping my family driving safe. Dad, pothole.
Got it.
So I insist we choose Les Schwab tires for safety services like brakes, steering, and alignment. Stuff those cheap tire centers don't offer. Because I want a backseat drive with confidence. Dad, speed check.
Hit the road safely with Les Schwab and save up to $150 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires, celebrating 70 years of doing the right thing. Limited time offer. Terms and conditions apply. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Ridgefield Main Street is working to keep our small town charm intact while enhancing the economic opportunities for businesses located in our downtown. Follow Pioneer Street West to experience the heart of Ridgefield.
Hey baseball fans, after the game visit A, the area's premier gaming, dining, entertainment, and meeting destination. A is a proud supporter of the Ridgefield Raptors and the perfect place to meet up with friends after a Raptors win for dinner, drinks, and great times. Keep the fun and excitement going after the 9th inning and grab beers at Tom's Urban. Or enjoy a perfectly cooked porterhouse at Michael Jordan's Steakhouse. With 100,000 square feet of gaming space, 15 different restaurants, bars, and retail outlets to choose from, A has just what you need to turn your night at the ballgame into a night you won't forget. A, just off I-5 at exit 16, ILANIresort.com.
Well, bottom of the 7th inning for the Ridgefield Raptors. And time to make up the deficit here. Ridgefield winning yesterday, but they have their backs against the wall here. Still 3 more innings to work with, but they do trail by 5. Mikey Kane to the plate, and the first pitch to him is lifted to right field. Will tail into the seats, and a foul ball. Shane Buchanan back on the mound for the Bend Elks, facing Mikey Kane, who has a foul out and a fly out today. Right-handed batter leading off the home 7th inning, down by 5. 0-1 pitch is bounced opposite direction. Third base side this time, and again, a foul ball. 0-2 to the Santa Clarita native, transferring after 2 years at College of the Canyons, played 1 season there. COC did not play in 2021. But they did have a full season this spring. Mikey's first. 0-2 pitch, and on the hands, and he still hits it high to left field, but playable for Christian Cooney. Underneath it, Camps and gloves puts away Mikey Kane, 1 down. Jake Sukata, the batter. He's had a great series. Sukata just making a comeback into the lineup on Sunday. Dealing with a shoulder issue, but he's healthy, and if you don't believe me, just look at the box score. Went 3 for 5 yesterday. He's 2 for 2 today. 2 singles, a walk, a stolen base. And he's played well defensively. Swings in the first offering and out in front of the off speed from Buchanan. 0-1 to Sukata from Aiea, Hawaii. Hitting .328 on the year, and that'll only increase with his 2 base hits tonight. With 1 away and the base is empty, he swings and lasers 1 to right field, but Casper comes over and he is able to get underneath it to make the catch. Hard hit and on a line, but not too far from where Casper started, and it's a fly out to the right fielder. Jake Sukata put out for the first time today, and Travis Welker comes up, who had 3 hits yesterday, but none today. Had a hard hit fly ball last inning, or last at bat, 2 innings ago. Bottom of the 7th, Ridgefield down by 5. They've only been out hit by 4. 2 down, bases empty. Travis Welker takes a breaking ball that slides off the plate, ball 1. from Shane Buchanan, who pitched a scoreless 6th inning. And back out for the 7th now. The right-hander deals a 1-0 that swung on, and a bouncer right back to him on one hop, and he'll run it all the way to first base by himself. Tosses it back, and it hits Welker on the knee. Buchanan's got to be careful with that. You don't want to hit the runner that you just put out. It's not intentional, so I don't blame him, but he did hit Welker with the ball after putting him out. But Welker is not one to argue or grumble, and so he just walks away without causing any trouble. 7-2 is the score. Ridgefield goes down in order in the 7th inning. To the 8th, the Bend Elks in front, and Aiden Vespi back in the mound after this.
Dick Hanna Dealerships is proud to welcome everyone back to support our Ridgefield Raptors. Just in time for warm summer nights with family and friends, lounging on the lawn, or eating dogs in the stands. Feels good to be back. In business for over 70 years, Dick Hanna Dealerships is a local, family-owned business with locations in Vancouver, Kelso, and Portland. Choose from thousands of cars and 12 new car brands. Experience nice in the car business. Dick Hanna Dealerships. Believe in nice. Now play ball.
At Eden Health, our commitment is to caring. We recognize the importance of caring for others, and we consider it a privilege. We are committed to addressing our patients' specific needs, providing hands-on care and services, helping families through tough situations, and supporting our fellow employees. We listen, build relationships, and go above and beyond to create meaningful experiences throughout our continuum of care. Whether you find yourself a patient to any of the Eden Health services lines or you become part of our team, you will notice the Eden Health difference.
Just unearned. All right, Aiden Vespi on the mound. Into the top of the 8th inning. Ridgefield leading by 5 runs. Ridgefield trailing 7-2. The Bend Elks leading by 5, and Aiden Vespi back to work. And the first pitch is swung on a miss by Michael Ball, leadoff man here in the 8th. And he's had a good day. A single for an RBI, a sac fly for another run batted in. He's 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Now he nubs this one foul. And it's 0-2 to Michael Ball out of Nevada Reno. Saw his brother pitch earlier today and had a 1-run inning. Michael plays for Nevada Reno. His older brother plays for Lewis Clark State, and they both play summer ball for the same team. The 0-2 from Vespi is swung on and missed, and Michael Ball down on 3 pitches. Aiden Vespi has struck out 2 in a row. 1 to end last inning, and this one to start the 8th. It is the 10th strikeout today for Ridgefield pitchers. Jeter Sherman had 6 of them, and the bullpen has picked up 4 more. Aiden Vespi now facing the top of the order for the first time. Elijah Jackson swings and rolls over a ball to the left side. Mikey Kane comes in working laterally, and the third baseman sidearms over to first in time. And a first pitch ground out to Mikey Kane. Elijah Jackson is out, and Evan Scavato up next. Mention the Ball brothers for Bend, and Ridgefield has their own brothers, the Kane brothers. And they're playing one in front of the other. Mikey at third base and Doyle behind him in left field. They're also headed to different colleges, just like the Ball brothers, playing at different institutions. Mikey headed to Oregon State, and his older brother transferring to UC San Diego this year. Aiden Vespi facing Evan Scavato now, and the first pitch is down for a ball. Scavato 2 for 4, a single for an RBI, a home run for 2 RBIs. Good day for the Portland Pilot, who's got 5 hits on the series. 5 for 8. He had half of the team's hits yesterday. He had 3 base knocks. The team had 6. The 1-0, and Scavato takes it down, ball 2, 2-0. He's got 9 hits against Ridgefield this year. and 6 RBIs. The two Portland Pilots have done really well against each other. Riley McCarthy has 9 RBIs against Bend this year, whereas his college teammate Evan Scavato has 6 RBIs against Ridgefield. So Pilots on each side. Here's a ground ball, hard hit right at the second baseman Sukata. He's up with it and throws to first in time. Aiden Vesby cruises through the 8th inning, 3 up, 3 down, and nothing doing for the Bend Elks in the 8th. But Ridgefield is down to its final 6 outs, and they need 5 runs. A 7-2 lead for the Bend Elks.
Holt Homes is proud to be a local builder. We embrace all that is special about Oregon and Southwest Washington. The natural beauty of the landscape, the dynamic climate, the community that brings us together. It's why we live and build in this place that we love. Holt Homes, built for the Pacific Northwest. Find home today at holtpnw.com.
Listen up, baseball fans. Head into Safeway to score on great deals all season long. Safeway has everyone's tailgating favorites, from fried chicken and party subs to fresh cut fruit and veggie trays and tons of easy meal options. Satisfy your whole team for the ultimate game day experience. And you can save a cartload of time with Safeway Drive Up and Go. Just shop online at Safeway.com, head to the store, and we'll bring your groceries right to your car. Safeway, sponsor of the Ridgefield Raptors.
Good day for the Seattle Mariners today. After an exciting victory yesterday, the Mariners come back to sweep the Rangers 4-2, the final score today. We were all watching the close of yesterday's game up here in the press box. All the coaches and I were watching the Mariners get down 4-3 in the 9th inning, giving up a run in the top of the 9th in Texas. In Seattle, went on to the bottom of the 9th inning. J.P. Crawford led off with a single and then scored from first base on a double by Cal Raleigh. And then Carlos Santana had the walk-off sac fly. And the Mariners won Game 2 of that series. And then in a day game today, they swept the Rangers 4-2. So they get swept by Houston and then sweep Texas in their 2 series following the All-Star break. Now Jacob Sharp to the plate to begin the bottom of the 8th inning. Ridgefield needing 5 runs over the next 2 innings and to hold Bend in check in the top of the 9th. Sharp takes a pinch for a strike from Shane Buchanan. Down 7-2. Sharp at the plate. The 0-1 is swung on and goes over it. Strike 2 to Jacob Sharp, who has 2 singles today. His only out is a ground out with a sliding play made by the second baseman, Michael Ball. He's 2 for 3. 0-2 pitch, swings over, strike 3, and Jacob Sharp, a rare strikeout. And this one begins the home 8th inning. And Safea Mawai, the batter. Speaking of good days, Mawai, although he did strike out last at bat, that is the only time he's been put out all series long, at least at the plate. Now 4 for 5 in the series with 3 walks. Getting 376 on the summer. Left-handed batter against right-handed pitcher in Shane Buchanan. Bottom of the 8th, and the pitch is hit in front of home plate. A fair ball picked up by Sylvester. The catcher throws to first just in time. Mawai hit it off the end of the bat, and it just trickled out in front of the plate, and Sylvester pounced on it and puts away Safea Mawai on the first pitch. Shane Buchanan cruising through. Riley McCarthy steps in. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Base is empty, 2 down. And the first pitch cuts into the zone for a strike. 0-1. Ridgefield hoping to make a comeback, although they have mostly been stymied today by Bend's pitching. Just a 1-run inning in the first and 1 run in the 5th. Down 7-2. McCarthy takes the next pitch down, ball 1. Every team's going to have their low points and games where they don't hit the heck out of the ball. But Ridgefield has been a team that has done that rarer than most. The only team in the league with a batting average over 300. as a team. 1-1 offering is down, ball 2. There's also only one team in the league with an on-base percentage over 400 and a slugging percentage over 400. It's also Ridgefield. Each time, there's one team hitting 300 with a 400 on base and a 400 slugging. All three of those. Ridgefield in first place in all three categories. But today, just 2 runs. There's the 2-1 to McCarthy. A ground ball off the glove of the pitcher, Buchanan. It goes to the third baseman, and the throw from Scavato is in time. McCarthy didn't think so. Nick Allen was surprised at the call. It goes down as a 1-5-3 ground out, and that will end the inning. On the deflection from Buchanan, and Scavato made a good play to field on the carom. And whether or not the call was correct, that'll end the inning. And that's it in the 8th. Ridgefield down to its final 3 outs, and will try to keep Bend scoreless in the top of the 9th. It's 7-2. The Elks in front.
At Eden Health, our commitment is to caring. We recognize the importance of caring for others, and we consider it a privilege. We are committed to addressing our patients' specific needs, providing hands-on care and services, helping families through tough situations, and supporting our fellow employees. We listen, build relationships, and go above and beyond to create meaningful experiences throughout our continuum of care. Whether you find yourself a patient to any of the Eden Health services lines or you become part of our team, you will notice the Eden Health difference.
The Ridgefield Raptors are back, where the entire family can watch top-level college baseball players live at the Rourke. Now, kids 12 and under get in free with a paid adult for all Sunday afternoon Raptors games. Enjoy local Southwest Washington baseball with the whole family this summer. Sunday games are at 105 and are presented by Peace Health and the Columbian. Come cheer on your Ridgefield Raptors all season long. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Shaping up to be another good series here between the Ridgefield Raptors and the Bend Elks. Last series went to a rubber match, and Bend took their first ever series win against the Ridgefield Raptors. That was last week, first time in team history. And now this series could come down to a rubber match. We'll see if Ridgefield can make a comeback. They currently trail 7-2. If they don't come back to win, then it would come down to the Thursday affair, and that's a big one for tie-breaking purposes, because Ridgefield and Bend, if Bend wins this one, they'd be a half game apart, and then Bend could win tomorrow to even up the head-to-head, or Ridgefield could win tomorrow to even it up 3-3. We're currently tied 2 games apiece between these two teams that could end up tied in the standings. After all, that's what we did last year. Both of these teams, Ridgefield and Bend, went 26-22 last year. Aiden Vespi facing Brady Casper to begin the 9th inning. First pitch off speed is outside. Brady was part of the Raptors in Walla Walla last year when Ridgefield was 25-22, a game behind the Portland Pickles, and even with the Bend Elks. Going into the final day of the season last year, the 1-0, and Casper swings over it. It's 1-1. Ridgefield did not have the tiebreaker with the Portland Pickles, and so with 1 game left and they're down a game in the standings without the tiebreaker, normally that means you're out. I mean, you can tie them, you could win and they could lose and you'd be tied, but without the tiebreaker, so you're done. But there was an asterisk there. There was technically a route for Ridgefield to make the playoffs. The 1-1 pitch is on the outside, strike 2. The only way for Ridgefield to get in to make the playoffs was if they won and Portland lost to tie them up. And then if Bend won also, then there would be a 3-team tie. And then the tiebreaker involves all 3 teams, not just 2. As Casper swings over, strike 3. And 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Casper was part of Ridgefield's team that did win on the final day in Walla Walla. So there's step 1. Portland did lose to Port Angeles. That's step 2. And Bend beat Corvallis, the best team in the league, step 3. So it forced a 3-team tie. And Ridgefield did have the tiebreaker, having gone 6-0 against Bend and 3-3 against Portland. So they have the best head-to-head record amongst the group. So Ridgefield got into the playoffs last year because of that final day. Bo Sylvester swings and misses. It's 0-1. 5-run deficit for the Raptors in the 9th inning. So Ridgefield needed the league's worst team in terms of winning percentage, Port Angeles, to win. They needed the team's best team to lose, and they needed to win as well. And all three of those things happened. And that's why Ridgefield got into the playoffs last year for the first time in team history. As Sylvester fouls one away. It was just the second year in Raptors history. They narrowly missed the playoffs in 2019. And in their second season last year, they did make the playoffs, ended up losing in the first round to Corvallis. No balls and 2 strikes from Aiden Vespi with 1 away. And the base is empty to Sylvester. Swings and crushes one to left field. If it's fair, it's gone. It is foul. Down the left field side and onto the grassy berm. And a foul ball. Stays the count at 0-2 to Bo Sylvester, who has walked 3 times in a row. He's probably not going to walk here. It's 0-2. He has a single and 3 straight walks. The 0-2 pitch from Aiden Vespi is swung on. Ground ball, third base side. Mikey Kane Fields on the third hop, throws over and puts away Sylvester, 2 down. 1 more out to get, and then Ridgefield will come up in the bottom of the 9th, needing 5 runs. So the funny part of that all is that Bend knew they were 1 game behind Portland. And once Ridgefield won, Bend didn't have any tiebreaker as long as they were tied with Ridgefield, whether it was just Bend and Ridgefield or Bend and Portland and Ridgefield. So once Ridgefield beat Walla Walla, that eliminated Bend. Their game finished after Ridgefield. So the only thing that mattered for Bend is if they lose, then it's just Ridgefield and Portland tied at the end of last season's regular season. So Portland would get in. But if Bend won, then Ridgefield would get in. So Wilson Weber checks his swing, and on appeal, no swing. And it's 1-0. So once Bend came down to the 9th inning, the only thing that mattered is which of their counterparts in the Southern Division got in. They couldn't get in. It's just if we win, Ridgefield goes, and if we lose, Portland goes. That was what mattered. And they won, and Ridgefield got in. That's how it played out last year. 1-0 pitch is down and in. And it's obviously not just because Bend won. I mean, Ridgefield had to win. They had to win 26 games, and they earned the playoff victory. It's just funny that in the end, the last factor was the only game left was Bend playing against Corvallis. Portland had already lost to Port Angeles. Ridgefield had already beaten Walla Walla. But the playoff decider was Bend's game against Corvallis. The Knights had already locked up a playoff berth, and Bend beat them, and Ridgefield got in. Called strike, it's 2-1 to Wilson Weber. Single is 1 for 3 today. Top of the 9th. 2-1 pitch, a swing, and a miss. It's 2-2 from Aiden Vespi. Did give up 1 run in the 7th inning, but could do 2 scoreless innings to follow. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Base is empty from Aiden Vespi against Wilson Weber. From the wind and a slider. That's outside, ball 3. 3-2. Jeter Sherman on the hill today, got the start. Tomorrow it's Nate Wheeldryer on the mound, getting his 2nd start of the summer. Here's the payoff pitch to Wilson Weber at the knees, taken. He starts to run up first base thinking it was a walk, and he strikes out looking to end the inning. Aiden Vespi gets 2 punch outs and goes 1-2-3. Ridgefield has tallied a dozen strikeouts today, but more importantly, they do trail 7-2. Down to the bottom of the 9th inning.
This is WSU Vancouver, Southwest Washington's only 4-year research university. Whether in person or via distance delivery, WSU Vancouver offers high-quality education and an employer-respected degree. You'll get a small school feel and the kind of place where you know you matter. Here, you'll get personalized education that brings out the best in you and inspires you to achieve your highest goals. Now, what are you waiting for? Apply today.
C-Tran is your public transit system offering service in Clark County and beyond. Catch local service in Clark County, plus regional and express service to Portland. And now you can ride the current C-Tran's new on-demand service operating in Ridgefield and other areas. So leave the driving to us. C-Tran will take you out to the ball game and anywhere else you need to go. Visit c-tran.com for more information. C-Tran, our community, our promise.
Well, final chance for the Ridgefield Raptors. Bottom of the ninth. They need 5 runs to tie and 6 to win. It'll be up to the scheduled hitters of Doyle Kane, Austin Cavanis, and Isaac Levings in the bottom of the ninth to try to make up the difference. Jake Green has entered to pitch in the home half of the ninth for the Bend Elks. Regardless of the outcome, we'll play the finale tomorrow at 6:35. Nate Wheeldryer on the mound for the Ridgefield Raptors. In the final game of this season between the Raptors and the Elks, although they very likely could face off in the postseason. More likely in the second round than the first, since right now they're in the wild card spot, so they would each face the half winners, whether probably Corvallis and Portland. Although who knows, Ridgefield could jump Portland, take the second seed or whatever it may be. Corvallis has already locked up the 1 seed in the playoffs, but there's a lot yet to be decided. And a lot of it comes down to this series, since Ridgefield and Bend are neck and neck in the playoffs. Ridgefield 1.5 games in front of Bend, but they could give up a game and be just half a game in front of the Elks if they don't win today. Down by 5, and the first pitch at the bottom of the ninth is a called strike. And being a half game ahead of Bend going into the finale, if they don't win today, means Bend could jump ahead of Ridgefield if they finish out the win today and then win tomorrow. The 0-1 to Doyle Kane is slapped foul down the right field side. 0-2. Doyle Kane is 1 for 3 today and has extended his hit streak to 5 games. And has 3 hits on the series plus 2 walks. He's behind 0-2 to begin the bottom of the ninth, and a fastball low. Ball 1 from the Canberra, Australia native, and Jake Green. 1-2 the count. Last year's West Coast League MVP from Australia. 1-2 pitches outside. Coming from Sydney, Australia, Travis Bazana, playing for the Corvallis Knights last year, and Oregon State won the MVP award. And a rare position player from down under. Usually the Australians more likely to be pitchers, as is Jake Green. The 2-2 is fouled away down the right field side and running out of room. And no play. I've talked with Bazana about that, about why the scarcity and position players from Australia. Part of it is just that there's not a whole lot of trust. The Australian baseball system, in Bazana's view, is growing, but has still a lot of opportunity to get better in terms of progressing hitters and position players. Here's the 2-2, and Doyle Kane again fouls it away. Whereas a lot of the Australians growing up playing cricket and more familiar with throwing and throwing with spin lead to better pitchers. There are 3 players in Major League Baseball at this moment who are from Australia. They are all pitchers. There are no position players right now in Major League Baseball from Australia. Here's the 2-2, and Doyle Kane again fouls it away. Good at bat for Doyle. Leadoff man in the ninth, 7-2 deficit. The most well-known of those 3 pitchers, Liam Hendricks, the Chicago White Sox, is an Australian. There are some minor leaguers who are position players from Australia, and some of them may have a shot. And who knows, maybe Travis Bazana will get there. Played second base, is basically the everyday guy at Oregon State this year, and last summer's MVP in the West Coast League. Here's the 2-2 to Doyle Kane. It's down, ball 3. Great at bat for Doyle Kane. 1 for 3 on the day, trying to get some base runners here. A walk would do the job. 3-2 the count from Jake Green, and a slider that's off the plate, ball 4. A leadoff walk, a long at bat, and Doyle Kane gets in. So Henry Mensch will pinch hit for the Ridgefield Raptors. Right-handed batter who got 1 at bat yesterday. He did strike out, pinch hitting for Alex Sepulveda. Now Mensch gets an at-bat here, pinch hitting for Austin Cavanis. And we'll get a second at-bat as a Raptor. Made his debut yesterday. He hails from the University of Portland. Played right field after coming in for Sepulveda yesterday, and will not play in the field today unless Ridgefield scores 5 and exactly 5 runs. Possible. You never know. Henry Mensch could do so. If we get there, we'll see something you don't normally see, although you wouldn't really see it necessarily, but Henry Mensch in the field who takes the ball in the dirt. Doyle Kane can get to second on a wild pitch. He needs to score, and so do 4 other players, so it doesn't matter too much. It does take away the double play is the most important thing there. And ball 1 on Henry Mensch. Henry is a rare user of the 3 fingers in the pinky hole variety in the glove. The glove has 5 spots for each finger in the glove, which most people will just put 1 finger in each slot. Some guys will put 2 fingers in the pinky hole, just slide the fingers down 1 spot, feel like they get a better grip on it. Henry does that and more. He sticks 3 fingers in the pinky slot, then his index finger where the ring finger would go, and then his thumb where the thumb normally goes. So he's playing out almost Spock style, but the big gap between his index and his thumb. And that's how he uses his glove. Feels like he just has better grip and just feels comfortable to him. And fine by me, more power to him, but it's always odd. Jose Bautista did the same thing, former Blue Jay and MLB player. 1-0 to Henry Mensch is a chopper. Third base side might stay fair. Lands inside the chalk line and then dribbles foul. Landed about halfway up the line fair, and then on the next bounce got over the chalk line, and Scavato touches it. A foul ball. So Henry Mensch has a 1-1 count. With nobody out, Doyle Kane at second base, needing 5 runs this inning. Wings Beer Sports, Buffalo Wild Wings is a proud sponsor of the Raptors. Stop in on Thursdays for buy one, get one free on boneless wings. We are Buffalo Wild Wings. The 1-1 from Jake Green to Henry Mensch. It swung on and fouled back into the netting, and a 1-2 count now to Henry Mensch. Now 1 of 3 players in this lineup from the University of Portland. Jake Sukana leading off as 2 base hits. Riley McCarthy has a single to his name. And now Henry Mensch also in the game. An infielder, an outfielder, and a catcher. All from UP. 1-2 from Jake Green is swung on and hit high to right field. Not too deep. Might get out of play. Casper giving chase, and Riley runs out of real estate and keeps the count at 1-2. Another first pitch tomorrow at 6:35. Final game against Bend. And then we'll bus out at about 10 or 11 a.m. tomorrow, or on Friday, I mean, to Springfield for a 3-game series down in Lane County. First series ever for the Raptors at Hamlin Sports Complex. That'll close out the week. The 1-2 to Henry Mensch is taken just off the dish. Ball 2. Doyle Kane at second. Mensch at the plate. Isaac Lovings is on deck. Nobody out in the home 9th inning. We will finally get a day off after the Springfield series. We've not had a day off. It will ultimately be 13 straight days without a day off for the Raptors. 2-2 is also away. Ball 3. Full count. So the final 13 days of July, all with a game for the Raptors. It's a lot of days playing 9 innings. Or at least in one case, extra innings in Cowlitz had a 10-inning game. 3-2 the count to Henry Mensch. The payoff is taken low. Back-to-back walks to begin the bottom of the 9th. Ridgefield just needs base runners. And Jake Green gives up walks to the first 2 guys he sees. They have not been easy. It's not 4 pitch walks. He's not missing by that much. A couple foul balls and long at-bats, and he ultimately misses on payoff pitches twice in a row. Isaac Lovings has a bat. Justin Trimble has a bat near the on-deck circle. I think Lovings will hit, and then Trimble after him. Loving's spot in the lineup is next. Mikey Kane is in the 9-hole today. Trimble might pinch hit for him, but we'll see. A mound visit currently with Danny Sales, the pitching coach, chatting with Jake Green, who came in this inning and proceeded to allow 2 walks to Doyle Kane and Henry Mensch. So Isaac Lovings will come up 0 for 2 with a walk and an opportunity to Trying to keep getting runners on. Don't need an extra base hit here. The home run would be nice, but you'd still have to come back for 2 more runs after you clear the bases. So a single would be almost as good, or a walk, or anything along those lines. Runners in first and second. Jake Green will stay in the game. There is nobody in the bullpen for Bend, and I don't just mean nobody throwing, I mean literally nobody. And so it'll be pretty obvious if they get some activity going, because they'll have to run down the right field side to get someone loose out in the pen. And so it looks like it's up to Jake Green to finish this one out. He's got to get 3 outs, but they do have a fairly comfortable lead, but it's becoming slightly more uncomfortable for the Bend Elks with 2 walks to begin the inning. Isaac Lovings steps in. First pitch to him is down. Ball 1 from Jake Green. Ridgefield scored 1 run in the first inning on back-to-back singles. Scored 1 run in the 5th, also on an RBI single. That one by Jacob Sharp. Here's the 1-0. Loving swings and fouls it back. It's 1-1. So both runs that Ridgefield scored, a guy got aboard via a single and then scored on a single. Or pardon me, Loving scored having walked, and then 2 singles after him. That's what advanced him and scored him. But point being that just a few singles have gotten Ridgefield a couple small ball runs, but it's not been enough yet. 1-1 offering is outside on the slider, 2-1. Bend, meanwhile, got their first 3 runs on home runs. A solo shot and then a 2-run bomb. And they have added 4 runs since then. It's 7-2. The 2-1 to Lovings is swung on. Ground ball splits the middle infielders into center field. Doyle Kane will come around. The throw in from center field is not in time, and Doyle Kane scores. The Raptors still don't have anybody out. They've gotten 1 of the 5 runs they need on an RBI single back up the middle by Isaac Lovings. And the middle infielders were playing up the middle, and still he split them right in between Jackson and Ball. And Lovings into second base. And a fairly close play at the plate. And now Lovings is going to be replaced by Latif Wakil, a pinch runner here. So Wakil comes in. And Justin Trimble is going to pinch hit for Mikey Kane. Henry Mensch at second base. Doyle Kane scores. And Justin Trimble comes up. The tying run is on deck. And so even a home run here does not tie the game. But there are no outs. Ridgefield down by 5 coming into this inning. They have scored 1 and still have not recorded an out. Back-to-back walks followed by a single. Isaac Lovings gets his 26th RBI of the year and then is pulled out in lieu of a pinch runner. Latif Wakil not being held on at first. Henry Mensch, a short leadoff from second base. Justin Trimble, left-hand batting infielder from UC Santa Barbara, takes the first pitch for a strike, and the throw from Sylvester is spiked to the third baseman. It doesn't cause any trouble. Hope Sylvester's okay. I think it just came out of his hand wrong. I hope he wasn't hurt his arm or something. He seems okay, just lost the ball and scooped up by Scavata. So we're okay. Trimble at the plate behind 0-1. 2 aboard, nobody out, 9th inning. Jake Green from the stretch. Comes back with a fastball, gets a swing and a miss, and Trimble down 0-2. Top of the order coming up. Trimble has good power. Had a home run against Bend last week to right field. No balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 9th, he takes one. Bottom of the zone, strike 3 called. And Justin Trimble down on 3 pitches. And that's the first out of the 9th inning. Jake Sukata steps in. Now the tying run is Travis Welker on deck. So Sukata and the 2 runners in front of him could all score and still would need 1 more. 1 out in the 9th. Jake Green tosses a fastball just off the plate. Ball 1 to Jake Sukata, who is 2 for 3 on the day. Singled on a payoff pitch in the 3rd inning. And singled on the first pitch in the 5th. Also has walked once today. The 1-0 to Jake is taken on the outer half for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jake Sukata. On his first home run of the season 2 days ago to right center field. And then had 3 singles yesterday. 2 aboard, 1 away. Jake Green with the 1-1. It's in on the hands. Sukata took it. And ball 2 inside. Jake Green started this inning with back-to-back walks. One of them has scored. The other one in scoring position. And Wakil at first base. 2-1 offering. Breaking ball. Just misses the outer edge. Ball 3. 1 ball away from loading the bases. Travis Welker on deck. 3-1 the count. 1 away. Jake Sukata wiggling the bat over his left shoulder. The 3-1 swung on and a high fly ball playable into left field. Cooney looking up into the night sky and he makes the catch. 2 down. Ridgefield down to its final out here in the 9th inning. 7-3 is the score. Ben could get out of this and make the final score look pretty comfortable, which for the most part it has been today. They have cruised, but Ridgefield has made it interesting here in the bottom of the 9th. Bringing up the first 3 guys, getting them all to reach, but then a strikeout and a flyout that did not advance the runners. And so first and second, 2 down, and Travis Welker hopes to avoid being the final out of the ball game. Tying run on deck, Jacob Sharp. If you can get him to the plate, the home run slugger, he would be the tying run. First pitch to Welker is hit high to center field, but playable for Jude Hall. Into the right center gap, it's Brady Casper coming over, and he makes the catch. And the ball game is over. Jacob Sharp left in the on-deck circle, and the Raptors fall to the Bend Elks in Game 2. Final score from Ridgefield, the Bend Elks 7, and the Ridgefield Raptors 3. The Raptors made it close in the 9th inning, but ultimately good pitching by Braden Boisvert and Shane Buchanan down the stretch. The winning pitcher actually will be Joe Ball, who pitched 1 inning, gave up 1 run, and will get the victory. And it will be Jeter Sherman taking, I believe, his first loss of the year. So the Bend Elks win it 7-3. Hope to see you at the finale tomorrow. Nate Wheeldryer will pitch for the Raptors as they try to win the series tomorrow in the rubber match. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 6:35 here on Thursday from Ridgefield. I'm Josh Warden signing off until tomorrow. So long, everybody, and go Raptors.